Hello, everybody. I am Autumn from BS&B, and this is Aaron from BS&B, and we're back playing Disco Elysium, communist game.
By Za.
Got that good Zaza on that you know?
Me when I put my Zaza on my
Oh, no. I'm gonna be honest, I've forgotten a lot of everything that we've done.
Well, guess what? We can talk to these people again and kind of refresh our memory. It has been a month, but we'll not take a month break anymore. This is a little. Actually, you know what? That's kind of accurate to our main character that has amnesia. You know, that's just like it's called method acting. But yeah, I think you know, we'll be doing these weekly.
I think
because it was Deltarune came out and we went, oh, okay, let's fully put our energy into doing that.
I'm gonna do something real quick. Watch this. I'm gonna give myself some XP. I'm gonna become our top fan. Just you watch. Super chat.
This is money laundering. This is literally money laundering. This is money laundering in the strictest sense of the word.
I can't do it. It won't let me. That's crazy. Wow. That's crazy. YouTube won't let me buy my own stickers. It's crazy.
What if I do it?
You can try.
Maybe I can do it.
Super chat.
I'll use my phone because I think I don't know if I have my card saved in my computer.
Crazy. It's not letting me do it. It says an error has occurred. You hate me, YouTube. Why does YouTube hate me on all fronts? Anyway, we are trying to get a sponsorship from Logitech, which is they're selling a new headset. That's pretty cool. Let me see which one they specifically are trying to sell. The G5222 Lightspeed, which seems to have RGB. A lot of it.
Oh, we love that RGB. Am I right?
The RGB, the LGBT lights. The RGB rays. What happens if...
Why are you...
This is crazy.
This is insane!
This is insane! Can I not type it? Oh, there we go. Money laundering.
Oh, you're actually doing it? Well, guess what? Wait, how many dollars are you putting in?
2. That's the minimum to that's the minimum to write.
No, it's 1. Oh, with the super chat. Yeah, it's 2.
No one can see what I'm doing on my thing, right?
Huh? Yeah, Autumn, we might have to go back and YouTube edit trim this from the VOD because this shit is taking too long.
Yeah. Here. No, I got it. Huh? I mean, you did it. Yeah, I did it! Hell yeah! Money laundering!
I gave it to like. Apparently, you can like super chats now, which is really cool.
Super chats. I have 100 XP.
You know, wow, YouTube really just like seems like such a good platform right now.
Yeah, like it's totally not as if multiple large, you know, YouTuber representations are going, hey, my videos are not being shown to the millions of people that I have subscribed to my channel, and not us as a channel having a small community and basically getting like less than 100 views on a video.
Even the same thing happened to us. Because like legit, it's like one of the people at our Discord at least confirmed. Like, yeah, I got the notification a whole day after it was uploaded. It's like, see, that's a problem. Because like, if you were one of our top viewers and it took a while for it to send it to you, it probably is not even sending it to some people who are not in the Discord.
There are a few
And you're
people
just like,
that I know that watch our videos religiously, and they didn't even know that we posted.
see, that's fucking bullshit.
Tell me about the
Yeah.
case,
So
Mr. Kim Suregi. Wait, what did I give this guy's? What was his voice that I give my? Let me.
you gave him this kind of voice. Actually, he has his own voice, but
I'm discoing everywhere. I'm
this
discoing all over.
this is what he
Elysium.
sounded like.
I'm discoing
He sounded
all over
like
my
this.
Elysium. Let me. You know what? Let me go back and see what he.
Autumn, this game is voiced. This game is voiced. It's gonna play. Yes.
Tell me about the case. Wow, it's like he didn't voice it.
He
Literally.
did. What?
No, I'm talking about my character when I'm reading my stuff.
I thought you meant Kim. I was like, what voice did I give for Kim? I was like, we didn't give Kim a.
Literally anything about it. I can't remember a single thing. Bro, this game was made for me.
That's what I just said earlier. I was like, this is more accurate because the main character has amnesia.
Literally anything about it. I can't remember a single thing.
Maybe you can tell me what you do know to help me narrow it down a bit.
I know literally nothing. Why am I going back to French? Stefan.
You always default to French.
Stefan.
Especially when you tried to voice the German girl again in Fear and Hunger 2.
Stefan,
which hasn't gone up
Jovanovic
yet,
says,
but
sup. Hello.
Sup.
Welcome, Stefan, to our communism game.
I thought you were gonna say welcome, Stuff Up, and then I was
Stuff
I don't know why I thought you were
up?
gonna say Stuff Up, Duff Up.
Crazy.
Anyways,
You know what? I know literally nothing about it. Only what you told me before.
No, no, not Birdly. Get him out of here.
No Birdly.
What's up? Long time no see, my guy.
Bit Funny's here. Hello, welcome. We've missed you. Brief.
We have.
Brief. Yes, that sounds good.
3 days ago, the RCM emergencies desk received a report about a security guard who was found hanged in Martinez. An anonymous caller
Not mayonnaise!
behind the whirling in rags hostel cafeteria. The cadaver had been there for 4 days. No one had come to investigate.
Man, if I was hung in mayonnaise, I'd be swimming in it. I'd love to be. I'd love to be in mayonnaise.
Huh? What?
Why do you sound so surprised? I love mayonnaise. Mayonnaise is so good.
Dude, it is, but like, that's kind of different. That's being hung in mayonnaise. I don't think that's the same. It's just liking mayonnaise. That's having an unhealthy obsession with mayonnaise. These like number 3s and number 2s with the crowns in the chat.
I see.
Well, I'm glad you're feeling better now.
It's good. Well, I
Continue.
very much am happy that you're doing better.
Facts.
During that time, the victim had been stripped of his belongings. The caller did not identify him, but used the word lynching. There is an ongoing labor dispute between the local dock workers and the logistics company Wild Pines.
Them damn liberals and their dock working.
That Dan to Dan.
That Dan to Dan and their liberal gender.
Their liberal gender.
Wait, what does the... Wait, does the briefing say the victim
A
was...
security guard or worker of some sort hired by Wild Pines. This was just hearsay from Martinez, of course. We need to find out the truth.
Why didn't we know anything? Why did I turn into gosh darn... what was his name from Red Dead Redemption?
Arthur.
Arthur Morgan. Why didn't we know anything about the color?
They didn't identify themselves in any way. The tone was muffled using a device of some sort. The desk could identify neither the caller's age nor sex.
And why are you French? Why hide themselves?
There's a strong prejudice against involving the RCM in what's seen as union matters. The dock workers' union is the de facto police in Martinez. Now it appears they've started executing too. We cannot allow that.
You keep saying things about mayonnaise. I like mayonnaise. Keep talking about it. Hold on. And the RCM is...
That's us, the Revachol Citizens Militia. We're the police in this city.
The RCM, or the Revachol Citizen Militia, is the police force you and him are part of. A self-organized peace corps of the occupied city of Revachol. The RCM operates within
My bad.
the legal twilight, yet its authority is rarely questioned. It's super useful to know this.
Of course. I understand. I understand everything now. Let me just make this perfectly clear. Our job here is to find the killer.
That's right.
Oh, I gain experience from just saying that. Oh, wait, that was a
finally
secret
figured it
task?
out.
That was a secret task. We needed to do this the entire time. Can we go over the preliminary info
You
again?
mean like a brief? Do you want me to brief you again?
No, I
Yeah,
won't.
yeah,
reason
no,
to
no, no,
do
no. Oh.
anything. If you didn't get the brief, that's okay. I did. 3 days ago, the RCM emergencies desk received a... During
Can we
that
go over
time,
that?
the victim had been stripped.
Mega cool.
The caller did not identify him, but used the word lynching. There is they didn't identify themselves.
Okay, we
There's
got that
a
part.
strong prejudice against involving the RCM
Oh, so it's literally
in
just
what's
going through the whole
seen
thing
as
again.
Union matters.
Of course.
Just
I understand
to be
everything
clear,
now.
We are police officers. It's our job to
Actually, I
find
have
the
all I
killer.
need for now.
That's the case. Uncover and arrest the killer.
Would you say this is a mysterious case?
No, it's not a particularly mysterious case.
Why
The
not?
deceased is a security guard for a corporation involved in a labor dispute. It doesn't take a DeLorean polymath to put the pieces together. I just don't see the case getting more mysterious than that.
A DeLorean? You're telling me you can go back in time? Kim, we need to go back to the future.
Supernatural.
Supernatural? Like that show on the telly.
That Dean Winchester type of guy.
I was thinking something over. I was thinking something otherworldly might be involved. You know, something supernatural. White male
Yeah,
and
that's
his
why I said
40s, what more do you
supernatural.
need? Personally, the label disputes are very mysterious. Okay, so the case probably isn't mysterious, but it could be sexy.
I like number 4. Number 4 is a good option.
There was some interest in this case at my station, but not for the reasons you have in mind. You seem to wish there was
Maybe there was a young woman involved.
Are you sure there's not some sex angle we should be considering? Maybe there was a young woman involved?
Yes, it just so
Autumn,
happens
Autumn.
there's a beautiful blonde 19-year-old woman at the heart of this case. A rich one, in fact, part of a murder sex cult.
The wearer
Are you
tone
sure?
is the surest indicator that the is being sarcastic.
Wow, really? That's mega sexy.
It doesn't have to be a cult. It could just be sex murder.
Does it have to be murder?
It doesn't have to be murder. It can just be sex.
Let's do that
Actually,
one.
it does have to be murder. This is a murder investigation, but we digress.
It can still be an otherworldly sex mystery in your head, with a dark twist even. He's basically challenging you to sex it up with some lurid twist. Don't get right into it. Sit on it a bit, then hit him with it.
If we're in different precincts, why are we on the same
I'm
case?
afraid you and I are pawns in a pissing competition.
His disdain is clear. This man would not use such an expression otherwise.
What do you mean?
You don't know? I assumed you were in on it.
I don't remember being in on anything.
That's good.
You know what I'm in? You know what I'm in on? Retrograde amnesia.
Better still than an imbecile cop-off.
Cop off.
It's just stupidity. We shouldn't waste any more time on it. If you want my take, ask me after we've inspected the victim.
But we did inspect the victim. You should tell me now. It seems
Maybe we
relevant.
were not supposed to look at this dialogue option
Later.
beforehand.
Was there anything else you wanted
I
to
mean,
know about the
afterwards.
case?
Actually, I have all I need for now.
Good.
I think you should know that I can't remember
No
anything.
response. He just arches his brow. He's having trouble processing it, believing it even.
I feel like I must repeat this. I don't remember anything. There was a heavy drinking
Have
involved.
you tried concentrating on something other than your personal affairs?
There is a sudden, harsh edge to his voice, like he's tired of hearing about your personal affairs.
But I'm completely lacking in basic information about even this organization. Can you help me?
Fine. We should get through this day first. Off hours begin at 9 p.m. If you're still having trouble then, I can give you an orientation.
I'm afraid this is not a good
Actually,
situation.
it's 2100.
Really? You look fine to me.
I'm talking serious, unbelievable damage here. I saw something. I saw myself in the mirror, and I had no idea who I
This
was.
psychodrama is unbecoming of an officer.
Clearly, he prefers to think you're malingering. He cannot fathom that anyone could drink so much as to retroactively erase their entire life.
It's not psychological. Some sort of major brain damage has occurred on an unprecedented
Then you
scale.
should consider seeking medical attention. You can use the radio in my kinema to call your station's Lazareth. Was there anything else you wanted?
I wanted to talk about you.
Me?
Yes,
I
you.
don't see how my life is pertinent to the investigation.
We'll work better together. We have more to. If we have more rapport.
That's a fair point. All right. For the good of the investigation, what do you want to know?
You're wearing glasses.
Also, wait, hold on. You remember we did try and call the police force?
Yeah, and they were just
Um,
dogging on us the
they
whole
were
time.
not nice to us.
You're wearing glasses.
That's correct.
You feel a slight urge to put the lieutenant down for this, but you can't quite muster enough testosterone.
Glasses
I
are
don't-
cool, I guess.
Glasses are cool, I guess.
Okay. They're mostly just cumbersome.
You could use a good, normal pair yourself.
You don't look like other people around here.
That's because I'm half Seolite, or quarter. My father's father was from Seoul. So was my grandmother, but from my mother's side. It's not an interesting topic.
Card ghost voice. What is soul then?
It's a part of the world, officer. A geopolitical entity and a geographic division. I told you it wouldn't be interesting.
Seoul is a protectionist, isolationist, pan-Isolari state west of the Insulindian Isola. Actually, it's quite interesting. Some would even say mysterious.
You're only making it sound uninteresting. I still want to know more about soul.
You're barking up the wrong tree. I don't speak a word of Seolite. I've never met either one of my grandparents, and I've never been to Seoul. I'm a regular Revacholière.
He's glad to have shut down your question.
Tell me a secret about yourself. Ask again.
Your brain sends the signal to your lips, but they refuse the order. Something is paralyzing them. You're pretty sure.
What
it has
is
something
this?
To do with the lieutenant's eyebrow.
What is this? Some kind of Delta Road situation, eh?
Delta Rune.
The eyebrow is exercising psionic control over you.
What's happening to me?
Something the matter, detective?
What's going on? It's like you're a puppet in his hands.
Give up. There's nothing you can do.
I called it. I called it. I knew it.
The lieutenant relaxes his eyebrow, and you seem to regain control of yourself.
Do you ever talk with
What do
yourself?
you mean?
You know, when you're thinking, do you ever, like, conversations with, like, your brain?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
See, that's actually something that I actually learned about something, is that there are different...
You've learned something about something.
Yeah, so let me explain this. So when people think, there are people that have, different ways of thinking. In my case, I have a voice that's in my head that talks with myself to reason things. I have a voice inside my head that is like, it talks, it thinks for its, I kind of have a conversation in my own head where it's kind of like I think about something and I describe it in words in my head, not just picture it. Apparently, people have different ways of thinking where some people only have pictures, some people only have feelings, some people only have emotions, some people only have like I guess you could say some kind of voice. It's called an inner monologue.
Here's what I'll say for me, because I notice some people don't have an inner monologue. I do just kind of tend to think things, like I just think, like they don't have to be deliberate words in my head. However, if it's something that's like really difficult, something that requires a lot of processing, then I'll start having a conversation with myself in my head. But otherwise, I just think. I just do, you know.
I also learned that
so I don't know whether I have or not have an internal I don't know if that counts as having an internal monologue.
I also learned that people can have different levels of that imagery that you have in your head, where some people can have like the four-dimensional bright colors, extreme level of detail down to like the cells of like an apple skin, right? Which is something that I have. I have extremely vivid, lifelike imaginations when it comes to like imagery in my head. But then there are people who have like, okay, you have that level of artistic ability in your head. Then there's the people who have like the ones where it kind of looks realistic, but like almost video game realistic in sense of that. Then there's ones who have it like it looks like a drawing, a very realistic drawing, and then some people have it where it's like not a very realistic drawing, it just looks like a standard drawing. Some people have it where it's like a cartoonish drawing, and then some people have it where it's literally just black and white lines.
And black and white lines.
Yeah, it's just like
Holy
a form.
Fuck.
It has no texture, no color. It's basically just a shape. And some people can only think that way. I'm pretty sure we talked about this last time. I don't remember if we did. But
no, the last thing we talked about in the end of the disco stream was about foods that are like people most often don't like, but we end up liking. And for me, that's kimchi.
Yeah, and we also talked about
most people.
Guns.
Yeah, we talked about guns. We talked about Kevlar. And I think we talked about bulletproof glass or something as well. Pretty good stuff.
Conceptualization skills must be rather rudimentary. The lieutenant is a police officer of the old school. His concerns are material and extrinsic. But this isn't an old school case.
I get it. You're one of those old school detectives. Nod respectfully.
So what? That makes you the new school? God spare us. For real detective work, nothing beats a good notebook by your side.
The lieutenant produces his small blue notebook and idly thumbs through a few
Hello, the
pages.
comm reader on Twitch.
That's where his
Whoa.
conversations with himself take place. We all have our different mediums. His is written.
What do you mean? I have no idea.
The lieutenant is a police officer.
The lieutenant.
So how do you know? Tip the side of your head.
What? Think? I do most of my work inside my notebook.
The lieutenant produces his small blue notebook and idly thumbs through a few pages. That's where his conversations with himself take place. We all have our different mediums. His is written.
That's all for now.
Whoa, it's just like Otto was
Let's
talking
change the
about.
subject.
You seem to be following me.
Excuse me?
What if I wanted to work on this case alone?
Detective, if I may be frank, you seem to be in a deranged state. You have trouble remembering things. You've misplaced your badge. I cannot let you act in the name of the RCM without supervision until you've regained control of your faculties.
Comm reader says I was too tired to use YouTube. Bitfunny says I wish I didn't have a voice inside my head. I will say this. The voice thing can get a little weird sometimes, especially with like just talking too much with yourself can be a little odd. But it is it can be used as a very good tool if you know how to use it.
Oh, so you're an unaccountable wreck who has to be supervised. You don't have to take this display of authority. You can disobey.
What if I need some me time?
Some you time? This is a police investigation, not a journey of self-discovery. You'll still have your evenings to yourself.
Okay, I'll leave yourself care for non-work hours.
Please do. We wouldn't want your regiment
That's
to
kind of
spill
the
over
point.
into the investigation.
The lieutenant is pretty sure self-care is just a euphemism for nihilistic binge drinking.
Nothing.
What?
Nah.
No.
Volumetric ship compressor.
What in the fuck am I looking at?
Bizarre scientific
A
news
volumetric
from
shit compressor.
Marshall West today, where a police officer's shit has been observed at a pressure of around 495 gigadecimals. These metallic hydrogen levels of shit togetherness were thought to exist only at the center of collapsing stars, not law officials. It remains to be seen how long the shit singularity lasts. Lonesome, long way home. Here we go. Home awaits. Walk past Station 41 and through the market, past the Boogie Street spearhead to the other side of the lake, the frozen eye at the center of the district. Then past the video rental store on the corner. There, at the end of a street lined with pine trees, a small house no larger than a matchbox, 11 Voyager Road. You no longer live there. Those times are gone. And so are those people. Why did you come here? Why are you still here? And where's the dealer? You have to get back to work. That's all you have now.
Okay, so the XP stuff, Calm Reader, is basically like a little like personal measurement
It's
of
a
how
leaderboard.
much. Yeah, it's a leaderboard. It's like it's a little personal measurement of how many times you've donated. I'm assuming you get XP by chatting too, but like it's a leaderboard of like who is the top fan, quote unquote. So
I don't
yeah, there's
know
that.
who. I don't know if it's specific to a certain channel or if it's across all channels that you have the XP, but I think you can see in the leaderboard now you have a number 2 by your name. So it's
Yeah.
probably like who's chatted the most is the current king. But Autumn is the king by far because she donated $2. So
Two
that
doubleinos.
puts her at the number 1 position.
Yeah, I think it's like you talk a certain amount of times, you get XP. It's kind of like how we have leaderboards in Discord. It's pretty much just that. It seems. Okay, so we found how to go home. Forget? Why would I want to forget it?
Internalize. Is that what you just hit?
This is a lot of internalization that we need to go
Ooh,
through.
Lord.
Okay, so now we know where we live. And now we have to go internalize this. You see yourself from above. You're passed out in the blue tiles of a hostel room floor. Even from this distance, you can see your eyelids flutter at the mention of what? A great white object letting out sweet smell like the lily of the valley. The little man's forgotten its name, but he still remembers the feeling. And look, he moves. The feeling animates him. He instinctively reaches out for the feeling's best friend, a bottle of Commodore Red. He puts on his disco clothes and gets smaller and smaller. Okay.
Disco clothes.
Bonuses from thoughts. We have negative authority. Intimidate yourself. Be public. Assert yourself.
No, I think that it's not that we have negative authority. It's that they all equal +1 when added together, I think. But I didn't add them together, so I don't know if that's actually...
Fingerless gloves. Okay, I'll take that. Well, the YouTube stream looks pretty darn good.
All right, cool.
help
I
one of
think
the
it
company that
only,
controls
like-
the drawbridge.
I think it only looks rough when it's like a lot of darks. In
How
the
do you
frame.
reserve from sewer? Sour, acidic, strangely comforting.
Oh yeah,
This
this looks
box.
good enough.
There's a pile of cheap sunglasses in a small box, a variety of shapes and colors.
You like sunglasses, officer? I've got the latest styles right here.
Try all the shades.
Abort. These are
While you're
hideous.
talking, I'm gonna
What's
run
more,
and get
they don't even
drink.
fit your face. You can feel them pinching your nose and chafing against your brow.
Damn, officer. You look like a mega secret spy. Very secret. They're practically made for you. I'll let
Sometimes I
you
think
have
about
them
cheese.
for 2 real and 50 cents.
No, you are definitely not buying those.
You're right. I'm too sensitive with
Are
those.
you sure? But they look so good on you. You should think this through, officer.
Rummage through the box.
These are all boring. Boring third-rate ho-hum sunglasses made of cheap Syrahese plastic. The kind of plastic that melts in the sun. Those UV stickers are almost certainly just there for the show. If anything, these lenses probably direct more UV light into your pupils. A UV magnifier.
These are all first-rate sunglasses. Premium design, super material, very cool. UV resistant. These will definitely keep your eyes safe and cool while doing your dangerous police work.
You know what? Let's try looking.
No luck.
Nope.
All you find is this lime-colored cellophane visor, produced by a bargain sportswear brand called Amphibian, apparently. There's a malformed green frog on its bent cap.
Oh, that visor is perfect for you, officer. It'll definitely keep the sun out of your eyes while you're shooting criminals. Bang, bang! And all for a mere 6 real.
Kim, I firefight something we should be prepared for.
I hope not.
You don't like it? Sure, Square Joe. No problem. Let's get you some real shades.
Leave for now.
Bang bang. Bling bang
There
bang
are
bling bang
clothes
bang bing
inside.
bang bang boom.
Cheap second-hand clothes, smelling of strangers' body odors.
Don't be shy. These are premium class clothes. Good quality fabrics, best retro design. Save the economy with your style, officer.
Save the economy? That sounds off.
Save the economy. What are you talking about?
Haven't you heard, officer? We've got to be economically conscious. Recycle your cash, keep it in circulation. Don't buy new things. Buy eco.
Huh?
Thanks for the advice. I'll try to be economically
Very
conscious.
cool. The economy thanks you, officer.
I've actually heard of this in real life.
No, it's just the don't buy new things, buy eco is the part that
Yeah.
I was like,
So that's the thing is I've actually heard of this in real life where people are like, stop buying the new stuff, just keep buying secondhand, and it's because people think that
that's what he's saying. Okay, I'm stupid.
if you buy the old things, then you'll be like helping the economy in some way. But I've also heard the exact opposite, where apparently if you don't buy the new things, you're hurting the economy. It's stupid. It's all honestly
I feel
just
like-
on to God stupid.
Yeah. I feel like you're maybe like helping the local market and hurting the big business market, which I guess is better. You
But then
know?
people are like, if you stop buying the new things, then you're hurting the corporations, and they're gonna make their new things more expensive because no one wants to buy them. And I'm like, that sounds dumb.
Well, that also is not quite right. Then they have to make it cheaper to get people to start buying bigger again.
Right, supply and demand. Drives through the
You
books.
find your
Yeah.
hands deep in tattered and faded garments made from weird polyester blends that make your body itch and sweat in all the wrong places.
Economical, but also trendy. Look firsthand. Buy secondhand. Keep the economy moving.
Oh,
Composure.
thank you for the $2.
Something cold grazes
Oh
your
hell
leg.
yeah! Thanks, com reader.
Synthetic and sleek. A windbreaker. Surf, it's
Oh, now you're number one for
also
sure.
Wind. Summer. 100% waterproof. And sport. All in different typefaces.
Good choice, officer. Mega sporty. And it's only $4.50 for you, sir.
Leave for now. I don't have enough
Bro,
money
when
for
are we
that.
getting the BS&B branded sunglasses? When's that happening?
I don't know. When we get B&B sunglasses, then we get to sell.
Think about it, right? A little chibi sirloin in the upper left corner. BS and bubblegum across the little what do you call them? The things that go to the ears. I don't know what those. I don't know what you actually call those.
The
Like
calm reader is the new king. Damage looks like it'll be caused by earthquakes.
The worn and beaten wooden planks of the bench do not look overly comforting.
We can sit on benches after we've solved the murder. Let's go.
You can revisit the bench if you ever need to pass the time when Lieutenant Kitsuragi is gone.
Good to know.
Madame Loin Wen. We've talked about what Madame Loin is gonna look like, and Autumn is very much voting for like full-on goth mommy type.
Absolutely, it's gonna sell,
Type.
dog. Believe me.
We just get
it
like
will sell.
we just get the hoodie is just a PNG of Madame Loin, and people are like, all right, even though this looks like shit.
Every time you bring out the measuring tape.
René, you're a man with a fork in a world of soup. Please, let's just try to enjoy the game, all right?
The other one is eating a big sandwich.
I'm trying to, but you keep breaking my concentration. You're old. I can see that. We're both old. Now stop grabbing your ass like it's a girl.
These manly men are playing balls. This is a ball game. Grab a ball and play it. Don't ask questions. Shoot first. Ask questions never.
That's a very bad piece of advice. Shouldn't I ask what the game is first?
No, you got this. There's the ball. You're the game.
It's like that Evil Dead episode. The shoot
Better
first,
observe them
think
first.
later.
See? Your munching and complaining have ruined my concentration.
The man throws a metal ball towards a smaller wooden ball at the sand, missing it by a meter.
Ah, mon Dieu. The pain in my back is unbearable. I can't even say if it's in my back or hip anymore. Feels like it's in both.
He tries to measure the
I
throw.
hope you pass out from it. You goddamn jellyfish. Men like you are the reason this nation is sinking.
We need the goth dummy mommy, said Calm Reader. That is true.
You know, I was about
That's
to
what
say,
I'm
like,
saying.
I really like the concept of like just learning about this overall world by the everyday conversations just that you happen to hear going through the town, you know. And then over here is goth dom mommy.
Seeing Tom Brady looks at his button with disgust.
Trying to throw something
Oh
as
my
close
God.
to a
Is
predetermined
Madame Loin
point
breeder
as
ball?
possible. Measuring.
We're yet to
This
see.
must be the age-old game of petanque.
Because if we're ever going to get a G Fuel sponsorship, we absolutely need to put a Madame Loin on it.
No, not G Fuel. I'd want to do gamer.
Gamer subs,
Okay.
whatever, whichever one it is. I don't know what the difference.
G Fuel has definitely hurt themselves as a company. You can go watch Charlie's video, basically explaining why he left G Fuel to partner with GamerSubs instead.
He had like a
You
shit
can
ton of
watch it
G
later.
Fuel in his background, didn't he?
Yeah, he used to. That's what every YouTuber sponsored by G Fuel like has to put a fuck ton of G Fuel in the background. But instead, GamerSubs like they made him a claw machine that you can go on a stream and then you can like play the claw machine remotely, and then if you win, you actually get to like win something and get it shipped to your house.
Oh, nice.
Which is like I think that's so much better because like
They don't know what
it's
they
product
do.
placement, but
They're
it's
old.
interactive and really
You
cool.
are letting down yourself and the team. Get
One
in
is
the
bad
damn
and one
game
has
already.
guacamole gamer farts.
Yeah, that's
Crazy.
like the most popular flavor is guacamole gamer fart. I like it. It's not my favorite, but like it's a good flavor. It's kind of like it kind of tastes like Baja Blast. Anyways, well let me read this again so that way because we weren't paying attention. Shush, ignore them. They don't know what they're doing. They're old. You're letting down yourself and the team. Get in the damn game already.
Wait, what
Shinji,
scene?
get in the damn robot.
Does it matter what team? Pick a team. Any team. The blue team. You're letting them down. Get in the game and throw the goddamn ball.
Why are you being so mean to me?
On the ball, Dinky Winky.
No, the game is patank. And when we... You know what? Let's fuck it. Just try it.
Let's go for it. Let's go for it.
Oh! We did it! We got it!
We died! No.
What is happening here?
You are immediately surprised by the ball's lack of weight. No matter. You'll make it work.
Feel the ball.
The cold metal ball is surprisingly smooth against your neck. It has a pattern on it. Probably a sponsored ball. Yours would only be covered with bumps of learning and scars of victory.
Continue.
Already your muscles are adjusting to the weight. The nervous system calibrating until you and the ball have merged into a single entity. The man ball is ready.
I'm taking this
That
around.
A
narration.
gentle breeze ruffles your hair as you stand there, feet firmly planted. All
This is so
sounds,
anime.
Smells, even the wind. Everything fades until the only thing left is the union of man and ball.
This is like in Hunter x Hunter when like they pause and they're like, and then in 1/1,000,000th of a second he activated his Nen ability.
There is time for a last glance inward. Who am I?
An embodiment of pure motion. A fine-tuned locomotor running at maximum efficiency. Some would still say you're a cop, but I guess we're beyond that now.
The inertia can be contained no more than a bullet leaving a gun. Let go. Be the bullet.
Oh. It just fucking fell out of our hands before we even.
A whorehouse of shit. It wasn't whorehouse of shit. The shot was at least 23 meters, probably 24, and then some. Nothing to be embarrassed about.
No, he randomly shouted "Merd." It's Expedition 33, not Baki.
Crazy. Not a weak right triceps, that's for sure.
I don't care if you are a cop. You do not just ruin someone's game. It's so goddamn disrespectful.
I'm sorry.
Vandalized our game, son. We can't play petanque with 5 bull.
P-Tank? Oh, petanque. I understand.
No, you don't.
You literally don't.
We want our bull back.
Take it easy, René. This is just a misunderstanding, isn't it, officer? No harm done.
Of course there's
Thanks,
harm done,
Gaston.
you orange slug. You owe us a goddamn bull.
Okay, I will try to fix this.
Good. Mistakes are forgiven when men at least try to right their wrongs. I believe you will try. Now, why did you approach us?
Yes, why did you come here? It's unlikely they know anything about the murder.
Do you know anything about the man hanged in the backyard of the Wheeling and Rags?
Unfortunately, I don't. Unlike most of the locals, I have no qualms about assisting law enforcement. But this affair has passed me by completely.
And most of the locals.
In Martinez, the union is the law. So can you really blame them?
But you don't have a problem with cops.
Cop is a pejorative term. I don't have a problem with policemen. On the contrary, I admire the effort to bring order to our streets.
He doesn't know about the crime. Your time is better spent discussing politics.
So,
Politics.
what about police women?
I'm confident they are indispensable in regard to all the paperwork and other administrative duties.
Dude, this is all very much coming back. Like I was like, oh yeah, that just made me think of. There was that one guy who was just a complete sexist pig. Remember?
Which one?
That dude we.
Oh,
that
yeah,
dude we
yeah,
talked
yeah,
to?
yeah.
Yeah, that guy. I'm remembering all these characters. There's also that guy who was by like the gate area who was super chill, and kind of had an interesting philosophy. There was this girl who was we remember the shopkeeper as well. She was kind of like, ugh, I don't care, type energy.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm remembering all these characters now. All coming back.
There are duties no RCM women can carry out.
But you must agree that nature, in her infinite wisdom, has made men more fit to perform certain, more challenging tasks. Don't you, officer?
I mean, evolutionary, yes, but does that mean that they can't? No.
Yeah.
Like it's all about doing things with practice. You can still be. I mean, if we're talking about biology, yes, males are more biologically fit to do things such as carry heavy things and have a lot more stamina to do things. But does that mean that men will always be better at it? No. There are plenty of women out there who lift heavier things than men. There are plenty of women out there that run
Right.
faster. It's not about being evolutionary contempt at something. It is about being able to do something because you have practice.
Yeah, like there's some female bodybuilders out there who are just like I would completely lose to because I have not been actively working out, you know?
Right. There are plenty of females out there who like I'm strong but could definitely bench press me. Like there's
Right,
absolutely there are absolutely some muscle mummies out there. So it's not
Yeah.
about evolution, it's about trying and training yourself.
Now, granted, if I had spent like, well, actually, no, even still, because I was about to say, if I had spent many years just completely like min-maxing, optimizing, just having the best workout routine ever, going like 5 times a week, fucking, staying on top of protein, meal planning, all that shit, right? And I was like the absolute most physical fit that I could be. Even still, because of like my body type, I'm still somewhat limited, and there may still be some women out there that like when they reach their full potential would be stronger. Even still. So because of my genetics, there's only so much that I can do. Like there is inherently a ceiling that everyone has, I think. But I'm no expert, but I think that's right, Autumn?
Technically speaking, there is a limitation on how much you can train yourself based on your DNA.
Yeah.
Basically, it says this is how much your muscles will get activated and how much they will grow depending on how much stimuli you give them. That's why some people out there use things like steroids to break that cap that says, you know what, I want bigger muscles, but I can't get them because my DNA says that they will only reach a certain size. I'm going to use steroids to break that chain of code because steroids overwrite that. They say, you know what?
It's just the berserker armor.
It is pretty much just saying, hey, although I can't release full potential for my muscles because that is biologically true, humans have a cap to how much they can use their muscles. It's about, I think it's like we only use, I think at maximum 70% of our muscular structure without using adrenaline, which is what steroids are. They're adrenaline. They give us the ability to unlock that because as a species, we care about conserving energy more than anything else. If we can conserve energy, we will do that. That's why humans are lazy. And what humans do is they say, you know what? I'm going to limit how much my muscles can work because we want to conserve the energy of that. So what they end up doing is just not being able to do it. Adrenaline is when you see humans use their muscles at max potential, which is why when you see someone be like in a stressful situation, they run faster, they're stronger, they're able to do a lot more things better even without training because they're finally using full potential of their body.
Dude, honestly, I should just do a video where it is me doing a Cy Thomas training. I'm like, all right, guys, I'm already bald. Let's see what my results are. It'd be a fun video.
I don't think there are any evolutionary inequality at play here.
Really, officer. Match an average woman against an average man in a dark alley and see who comes out on top. Gender
That's literally what we were
equality
just
is not
talking
a
about.
Very modern idea, but in real life, primal roles prevail. But I do not wish to discuss this matter further.
You seem to be
Yeah,
lying
it's
in a
like
crate,
if
sir.
you, it's like yeah, if you take the like legit average run of the mill man and the average run of the mill woman, yeah, but like there's still so many factors at play that it's like, yeah, if the woman is super active and the man is a deadbeat, like
Right.
It's really no competition at that point.
You seem to be playing in a crater.
Yes. The terrain here provides an interesting variety to a familiar game.
Was it made by a sea monster rising from the depths?
No. It was left by heavy artillery fire.
Okay, it's a crater left by artillery fire, but why?
Why what?
Why was every artillery
Because
used?
that's what happens when communists hijack your country, execute your supreme leadership, and turn your capital into a slaughterhouse. You use heavy ordnance to clean up your home.
Wait, who are the communards again?
Commies, communists, socialists, anarchists, call them what you like. They just chose the name to feel special. Senseless sentimentality.
Ah, socialists. You hate those, do you? Did you use artillery fire against them?
Sadly, no. It was the foreigners who brought them to their knees. We fought valiantly. Too valiantly. So valiantly we got licked.
I don't think you can actually donate under $1. I think you have to donate a full dollar.
Like they did with their suicide sex cult propaganda and mad anarchist women strapped to shrapnel bombs. We didn't so, and we lacked caliber. God bless him, but the suzerain's cannons simply weren't big enough.
It was probably a bit more complicated than that.
Why shell them in Martinez?
Because this place is a damn beachhead. Had to soften the commies up first.
The beachhead?
Yes. The military coordinated amphibious landing to take back Revachol. Martinez was used as one of the 3 footholds in Revachol during Operation Deathblow in 08. The other 2 are off in Stella Maris and the Delta.
Deathblow. Sounds grim.
This here is Blood Ground, where coalition boots first made landfall and cleaned those rabid dogs out.
Oh, hey, we got
Most likely,
Well, thank you
Wire.
for the
they are
6
mangled corpses.
MYR.
MYR.
$1 and something cents.
$1 and something cents.
Okay.
Dude, we're getting actual donos this stream. This is great.
We appreciate it. How much did that put you on the leaderboard? Let's find out.
Oh, it is 1.42 United
that's
States
high.
dollars.
You said it was what?
$1.42.
Oh, nice. Bloodground. Hold on. The coalition.
Don't get me wrong, officer. I hate those foreign dogs, but the enemy of my enemy and all that. They're the lesser evil.
And I am real scout! Is that why everything is bombed out?
Damn right, son. They laid the fire of hell on the city before they stormed it. And it worked, too.
That was my last 6. Oh, you didn't have to donate all your money to us? What the heck?
Yeah, you did not have to do that. I mean, thank you very much, but you know,
Don't.
you gotta
not.
be.
I'm gonna say this. Do not empty your wallet for a streamer. Please, do not do that.
Facts. You gotta be financially stable first before you donate to any streamer, I think.
The rest of the city got cleaned up, but Martinez they keep as a monument. And now the Union Socialists are practically running the place.
Well, it's your own damn fault. You, we, the coalition, Revachol, whoever you want to blame, never finished the job. Officially, the party never surrendered. Of course, they still all influence.
You
Okay.
don't even begin to truly understand the players at the table, let alone the specific circumstances surrounding the... What do you think?
Thinking men have opinions on these things. Present one.
Commies just don't understand how money works. Well, I think 5 is a good
Well,
answer.
we really gotta think about. Yeah, I was about to say, hold on. I'm like reading these options over and being like, damn, okay, hold on. These are like big choices. I also like 5, to be honest, actually.
Yeah, I think I like 5 too.
I'm just so damn sorry it had to be the coalition. After 8 years of fighting
What?
the hyenas.
Calm reader
holding
donated another
those
$2.
pests
What?
in the mountains.
I mean, thank you. Why? Well, I guess I have been helping streamers wrong. What do you mean? I don't know what that means. But
I think
thank you.
well, this may have been right after I was like, hey, be financially stable before you like send money to any YouTuber streamer.
Well, the calm reader is now back on top of the leaderboard. So,
Well, congratulations, I guess.
and I'm
And
at the
thank
very
you.
bottom. Besides Stefan.
I would have preferred if the Right Honorable King Guillaume returned to Revachol, or even if that damn clan Frisel had risen from the grave and led us. Sadly, that was not the case.
This royal failure weighs heavily on him.
Instead, all that is just, holy, and beautiful in the world was wiped away, and now it's neon signs with toothpaste ads everywhere. Foreign influence peddling garbage and stupid music on the radio. This is just what the commies wanted. This was their plan all along. This is what they wanted to replace the role of the suzerain with.
How does Philippe III factor into this?
It doesn't. That was 100 years ago. It had nothing to do with anything.
Wow, that's a lot of money. Oh my god. You should
Damn.
probably save some for yourself. Who was this Frisel?
Not anymore though. Do you have a car now?
He was the king we couldn't protect.
I hope he has a car now.
Carabiniers failed him, and the crown. He died in the hands of the Hyperlay, in a very public execution.
You mentioned Guillaume.
A true king in both blood and mind, led Revachol before Frisel. He would have been better, but the damn commies drove him into exile.
Some manner of self-deceit is present in his thinking. Sounds like this Guillaume abandoned him, and he doesn't want to admit it.
Yeah. What is that? What is a suzerain? That's my next question.
What is actually a suzerain?
Suzerain is the king. Has everyone forgotten already?
Yes.
They forgotten already.
Okay, gotcha. Well, you should start saving your money, man.
Absolutely.
We appreciate you giving us money, but your financial security is more important to us.
Soon, they will forget everything. Him too. Then he chooses anger over melancholy.
It's no use talking to you. You were still in Daddy's borders when it happened. When we took our last stand against the filth and rode the cavalry straight into gunfire.
I wish you the best of luck in getting out of gacha addiction. Because like, you know.
Yeah, I used to have like I would call it a very small gacha addiction when I was younger. I used to spend all my money on Pokemon cards, literally every dollar I had that was to my name, which wasn't very much, but I did.
I personally, the only thing that I've done in that kind of realm, as far as spending money goes, is I used to play Magic in college. Me and a few friends were actively playing Magic. I didn't buy many booster packs though, because like, I think like we got in at the set that was Throne of Eldraine. We got some booster packs here and there throughout that set. I probably bought a handful of them, and then I went, yeah, these things are not worth it, and I'm literally only going to buy cards from TCG Player. Because I realized if I want to build a specific deck, why am I wasting my time buying booster packs instead of just buying the cards individually? So that's what I did. I just did TCG Player. The only time I bought booster packs after that was they had a set called Double Masters, where they were reprinting cards that were like super old and overpriced like crazy. So it was actually a good deal to get some Double Masters cards. But then the Double Masters cards hit the market and they were a lot cheaper because they were a lot more in rotation, like in like being printed. So even that, it's like TCG player would have been the better bet. But that's what I always say if anyone wants to get into card games is just do not fuck with booster packs. Just only buy the cards that you want, because it's just not worth it. Like that I built like 4 or 5 decks just by doing that, and that was just, I couldn't imagine the alternative, which was doing that with booster packs. But gotcha games are scarier because you can't do that. You have to buy the packs. You can't buy the individual cards. You have to just roll for them. And me, I only play Pokemon like TCG Pocket, which is super free to play friendly. I've gotten very competitively viable decks just by rolling for free. But I don't know. For the digital games, I've never personally been tempted to actually spend money on them, because there's something like I feel like if it's digitally, I don't know. I just want to, well, really anything, and not even digitally or physically. I personally am one of those people. I can't fathom buying something and not knowing what I'm getting. Is just kind of my thought process. But I also understand that like I'm not like everyone else, and some people do really, like gacha mechanics. But I think that if you're at a point, and I actually also think that like if you're actually having fun with it, then more power to you. I think if it's money that you genuinely feel that you're getting worth out of by spending, then like who am I to tell you shouldn't spend the money, right? Like if you're truly getting enjoyment out of it. But if you're at a point where you're like, damn, I've spent a lot of money on this gacha game and it just has not felt worth it in the end. My best recommendation would be to try and like find different games that are just like you buy it once and that's it, and try that out, I think, because then there's literally there's nothing that you could be tempted by to pay to win. You're just paying like $60-$70, which can be a lot. I mean, of course the Steam sale's literally going on right now. You can get something on Steam sale, but just get something that's like a nice comfy like long game that's like maybe $20-$30. Play that, and yeah, because I don't know, and I also I get more enjoyment out of those games than gacha games personally. So that's kind of just my best advice for how. I mean, this is just me thinking hypothetically, like if I had a gacha addiction, how would I get out? That's what I think would probably work for me, but I don't know.
I will also say there are plenty of games out there that have gacha mechanics that don't cost you money. You can use like there are
Balatro.
Yeah, like
actually Balatro is great. Balatro gives you that gratification from playing a gacha game, but it's also a roguelike. So you're opening these packs, but then it's like this whole, oh, what cards am I going to grab to be able to progress in the game? And then it's that whole thing. And I don't know, it is gratifying to open packs. Like I kind of get it from that aspect of like not knowing what you're going to get. Like that is kind of exciting. But I feel like it can be very dangerous if you start getting real money involved in it. So that's why I personally have never taken the jump to do that in a gacha game, because I just don't want to go down that path, because it is scary and it is a serious like addiction that can happen.
Yeah, I'm
6K. Yeah, definitely save your money for that. As much I do think that there's an element to it being very admirable that you want to support streamers, because literally that is how like us and other people like can live ourselves, is by like people donating and sponsorships and ad revenue and all of that kind of put together. So in a sense, that is very admirable of you to do that. But it's also like you want to put your own financial security first.
I will say this to everyone that I meet, and you are the most important person in your life, so take care of yourself, please.
Right. There's like, I mean, there's a thing about egoism where sometimes it can be rough, where like you are too egotistical, but you got to be a little bit egotistic. You got to get it in the sense that it's like you got to value yourself, you have to put your own well-being first before you can start you know, focusing on other people.
If you cannot help yourself, then you cannot help others.
Well, it's not necessarily a can't. It's more like it's just very difficult, I think. Because you can, like, you can physically, like, help people if you're having trouble helping yourself, you know? But it's more like you shouldn't, because, I don't know, if you're trying to throw away all of your money at someone when you're not financially stable yourself, it's like, no, you need that money. You need to hold on to it. Do whatever you got to do with that money. Save it, invest it, something. And then once you're more well off and you have more disposable income, then that's the moment where you go, okay, let me take my disposable income and help a streamer out.
Ah, yes! King Philip III on his steed. A reminder of what Revachol once was.
Oh, absolutely. At the mercy of a cocaine-snorting tyrant who emptied the treasury so he could sleep on a bed of gold.
A superpower, feared and respected. A testament to what this country can be under the leadership of a true king.
So,
Someone who knows how to rule.
so you like fascism, is what I'm hearing.
Decisively, without fear of offending the sensibilities of the frail and weak-minded among his subjects. This is something the insurgents never understood.
Seems to me a leader should take care of his people before himself.
Elysium is only as strong as its leader. That's why it was such madness to try to...
Well, here's what I'm going to say to that old man.
Don't get started on that again.
Okay.
What happened, happened.
The Carabiner doesn't reply, but his entire being communicates unbreakable resolve.
So, a leader is only as strong as the people that he leads. A leader with no people is not a leader. He is just a man. So, with that being said, if you have a healthy, happy people, you will have a healthy, happy, powerful leader. But a people that doesn't like their leader are more likely to revolt, take over that leader, and overall just that leader is now weak. Gooning to Noel's mom? What?
I'm sorry, the fucking disparity between what you just said and gooning to Noel's mom fucking threw me off.
No one and nothing can change this man's mind. He is as rigid as they come, still in that antique uniform. It's a symbol for him.
What was that about cocaine?
Oh, old Philip was a big fan of the purple nose candy the nobility loved so much. A cocaine connoisseur of sorts. His egocentricity is borderline legendary.
You can't even take the responsibility for yourself. How could you fathom the responsibility weighing on the shoulders of a ruler?
Okay, well, while we're paused real quick, we'll say one other thing real fast. As far as paycheck to paycheck goes, I would say sometimes your paycheck is like basically just what you need for necessities, and that's all. And in that case, you kind of have to live paycheck to paycheck. But I would say that the best YouTube with financial advice is weird, but so I'll say this is not true financial advice. But I would say that my just recommendation, if you have some disposable income, I think just the best thing is to at least save some of it, so that way you can over time build up a savings account. Because that's kind of what I have done and have been doing, is just I think that I both invest and I also save. So I will just take a small portion. Sometimes it's different. It depends. Like, cause sometimes I'll be spending more money. Sometimes I'll be spending less money, depending on the month, you know. But I will take at least a little bit and try and throw it into savings. instead of buying something that's like fun. Because over time, even though my savings account, which like the amount, of course, I'm not going to make public, but like I basically just went, I wanted to slowly build it up over time. And, you know, since then, the savings account has surpassed what I just get paid every month. It was very slowly but very surely, and it's very difficult. You got to be self-controlled, but I think just it helps you feel more secure in the coming years. Beast Me financial studies stream went right now. You know, and also I would say another good piece of advice is definitely if you live in the U.S., opening an IRA is incredible advice, because that's what I did last year.
I've had a Roth IRA, and it's really easy to put money into it.
Yep.
You just say, hey, you know what? Company that I work with, I want you to put X amount of money from my paycheck into my Roth IRA, and they'll be like, okay, sure. And then we'll match a certain amount of a certain percentage, and then you just literally just start getting money.
Yep. It feels like cheating. It's that good. Roth IRA. And by the time you retire, that money in your Roth IRA is going to, like, let's say you just put in a couple $1,000s. Let's say you put in a couple $1,000s in an IRA today, and you're like 20. By the time you're like 70, that couple $1,000s is going to be multiplied by like fucking 10. You know, it's just a ballpark. And then think about it. If you do that every year, oh my god, dude, you're rolling in dough by the time you retire. I just think IRAs, that's like, if there's one thing that I could ever recommend to anyone in their 20s do, it's like, get an IRA right now. Best possible use of your disposable income, I think. But you also want to save some of it, because, you know, once it's in an IRA, it's very difficult to take that money out until
it's
your
also
IRA
taxable.
runs up. You know, so you're going to lose. Like, the money is still technically yours to take out at any time, but like, you'll be penalized. So it's kind of like staking it. You know?
Until you turn like 60 or something, you get like a certain amount of tax on it every time you try to pull out of it, depending on how much is in it.
Yeah. But having some as liquid savings just in your own savings account is very good for financial security.
Especially when it comes to
But it's
emergencies.
difficult. I'd say like financial stuff is very difficult. I think for everyone, it takes a lot of self-control.
It also is unique for every person.
Yes, yeah. I don't want to downplay like any difficulties anyone may have with financial stuff. I think you could do it at like 18 or 19 with an IRA.
If your parents sign, they can probably put it in for you in your name as early as like as soon as you're born, right? As long as your parents are putting into it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why the Philippian kings use cocaine for clarity of vision, to aid in their work. Regnum cocainum, Revachol's finest years.
Well, if you die before reaching retirement, you won't care. You're dead.
He seems to go chonga, brimming with pride about the past. You can also put in as a person that will receive your IRA when you die.
Yeah. No, you put a family member or a close friend. But yeah, you won't care. You're dead.
Clarity of vision, awareness.
Philip III was even brought into this world with the help of cocaine. The court made him administer the dose to his mother when she was in labor, and it is well known that with the help of cocaine, only the purest, of course, he was able to connect with higher realms.
What is this guy yapping about?
Higher realms.
Philippe
Of
III.
course.
Using
It
cocaine.
all makes sense.
I think this guy is out of his fucking mind.
He's just making excuses for the king's habits, isn't he?
Absolutely. Seems like irresponsible behavior for a monarch. Drug abusers shouldn't even operate heavy machinery, much less rule countries.
From what I've seen of the officers of the RCM...
Well, actually...
But I don't want to get into a debate about drug policies. Right.
I don't want to do this because I'm literally at 3%.
Well, thank you, Conrad. Yeah, YouTube, as far as I understand, you can't label, you can't just, you have to be careful about saying, this is financial advice. I just say, like, this is just a suggestion from one friend to another. But I
However,
don't have all the answers. I'm not a financial expert, you know, this is just what my suggestion is.
I would also say that every single person's financial situation is unique, and therefore you should have some way to find your own ways for solutions. But there is always a given, like,
mail collection
generalized
box has
thing
been
that
heavily
can be
vandalized
somewhat helpful.
with graffito. A closer inspection reveals 2 bullet holes in the front.
Like, I don't think it's wrong for me to say, hey, you should save money, but
Yeah, exactly. You
I
know,
cannot
like
tell
that-
you
but
the
it's-
exact way you should. Good mail delivery box. Pat the box.
That's like me. I'll just pat in
The box
animate
seems
objects like
happy.
that.
Thanks.
Eat shit, pig. Fucked by the coon.
Huh?
And Saint G with a crown have been scribbled on it.
Oh my god.
Jenny is a whore. And best set mailbox also.
I feel you, my collection box. Been there.
Post adventure mail collection box. Been there.
Been there. Post
Mail collection
adventure.
box. You should man the fuck up.
The mail collection box seems cathartic. Thankful even. So do you. You shudder. Then you swallow.
Fuck you, mail delivery box. I'm not gonna kick it.
No, you have to say that in Will's Cards voice.
Fuck you, mail delivery box. This book has a rose, a pistol, and a half-naked dame on its cover.
I'd say we should probably.
It covers
I think
things
what we
between
should
us
do
and
is
the
we should probably wait for the dialogue interactions when we talk to people, and they're kind of like long dialogue interactions. Let's go through that first, and then read chat afterwards while we're doing the walking bit. I think that'd probably be a better way to do it.
What are we talking about?
I was just saying. I think that when we talk to NPCs, the discussions are fairly long, so we should just get through that discussion first, and then we respond to chat after we're in this walking area. I think that'd probably be better for the flow of the stream.
Roundabout north. I'm assuming this is roundabout south. Martinez Pial. Ooh, golden object. Ooh. You're a distant squall of seabirds. A plastic bag. Listen, boy, I don't start trouble while I fix it. Yeah, okay.
Lesson like Mrs. Lesson?
Oh no, not Mrs. Lesson. I've got a plastic bag. What does it do? Collect tear from the streets? Oh, I can collect trash or something like that. It
Is
doesn't do
hair
anything.
not trash?
Said I can't collect trash. What is this? Plastic tear. Oh, I can collect.
So I
Oh,
assume it
yeah,
is
yeah, yeah.
trash.
Because remember, we needed to collect money to give to like the recycling to get money.
Oh, yes.
A splatter of boat holes along the wall. Money?
This
Money.
coin-operated viewer is facing southwest. Its coin slot is full of fossilized bubblegum, rendering the machine permanently
What?
inaccessible.
What? What are we yelling about?
Read it, Autumn.
Bubblegum.
Forget.
Is it
Didn't-
bubblegum? Is it because it's
Yeah,
bubblegum?
it's bub-
Be
it's because it's
poor
bub-
little
it's
viewer.
because it's bub-
The
it's
metal
bub-
feels cold and wet under your palm. It looks unhygienic.
Vandalism. Shake your head.
Probably some kids.
The lieutenant respects, the lieutenant inspects the rigged slot, looking
A
sad.
thick layer of graffito covers the lenses. You spell out the word Onuk written on the other side,
It's
with
Kuno.
N and C scribbled backwards.
It's Kuno.
That's Kuno on the lens.
Shift your focus to the
Under the
background.
graffito, a sea of blues and greys appear. Behind the water lies a coast studded with concrete and reeds. On it, a church on stilts, lanky weather-worn wooden planks, an X-shaped cross topping its tower. You know this to be the star of Pericarnassus, or the Cairo, the central symbol of the Pericarnassian church, a star, a great moral height to be strived towards. The church looks old and weather-worn. There are no lights in the windows.
If you were given the offer $100,000 per back shot, how would you take it? I mean,
How much would you take?
depends on the weapon.
Around the large wooden building, you see chunks of sea ice gathered on the beach, and a small tent set up on the ice.
Mortaire. Yo, I'm getting hella money now.
This coin-operated viewer
So much
is facing
tear!
south. The instruction manual says to insert 25 centimes and pull the handle while looking inside. Then use the focus knob to zoom in if necessary. Why place a tourist attraction in the middle of such poverty?
What's a tourist attraction doing here?
There was a revitalization project in 49. A design studio tried restoring Martinez to its pre-war glory. It didn't stick.
What
They
happened?
got as far as the street lamps and the statue on that intersection. Then something went sour. I suspect that something was Everard Clare, the union leader. He muscled them out. It's how it usually goes around here.
Cool, I'll take organized crime. Let me do something about it.
We should have done something about the union 10 years ago. That ship has sailed, officer.
Damn.
Your money disappears into the coin slot. A clunk, the ring of metal.
Pull down, don't look inside.
The curtains on the display open. You lean in to catch the view. It's blurry, different blues and greens. In the middle of the shimmer stands a drab grey shape, like a ghost.
Tell the knob to focus your
The
vision.
lenses shift. The ghost sharpens into an islet in the bay. In the ruins, a man-made structure is visible. A half-sunken sea fort. Its concrete almost reconquered by nature. It looks as if it was abandoned quite some time ago. Nothing but a rotten tooth remains of the anti-aircraft tower. A lonely birch tree grows out of it. Its leaves ripped from it by the winter wind.
Bang in there, little one.
The little brave birch tree seems to wave back in the wind.
There are ruins of some kind of building over there.
Really? I don't have the eyesight to make it out.
Well, hello,
More
Jake.
money to collect.
It's so much opened up when we grabbed this bag.
I'm practically swimming in it. In the mayonnaise. More money. Let's go get money. Ah, yes.
Did Funny really just like pose the most vague ass like question? Call readers trying to reason with it.
If I'm allowed seconds. The belly of this boat shines as it was recently painted. Any more money to be had?
Yeah, see, like if this is like back shots from like an airsoft gun.
This is a wall
That-
on the side of an apartment building.
Cool.
Hey, nothing's bad's gonna happen if we try the conceptualization.
Can I retry it though?
don't
Another
think-
question. Can I retry it?
Just an ordinary wall. Nothing
Yeah,
to
I
see
can't.
here. You have no clue. It's just a wall. So many walls all over Martinez. Weather-worn, cracked, their paint peeling.
True. Money? Magnesium.
Now we can finally get some goddamn sleep. Oh, this is so cool. We're at that back area where Kuno, where we couldn't get to earlier.
You fucking Kino. Alright, little bitch.
There must be another way into the building.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Your voice got all
get
weird for a
involved in this.
second there, Kim.
Chairs and tables eaten by rot. Rain.
rain and rot.
Really splattering of bullet holes in this wall. What's in this? More money? Orange bum hat. And a fire extinguisher? Nose fed. Just close the door, but you look at it suspiciously. These barrels are half full of rainwater. Can't go that way. Actually, can I talk to that man from up here? Or down here? I can't.
You might be able to. Let's at least tap on that first.
You
Balcony
see
with a view
a
to the
young man
yard
on a
and the hanging.
balcony nursing a cigarette. His eyes have been following you for a while.
Not looking for any trouble, officer.
He says in a quiet voice, despite the cold, his shirt hangs unbuttoned on his frame.
It's the voice of someone who has something to hide, my liege.
Are you hiding something? Speak up, this is the police.
Oh my
No
god.
trouble for me, I just want to know what's going
I
on.
don't want to
here.
be seen talking to the gendarmerie if that's okay. I just want to finish my cigarette.
Don't let him go. This could be your witness. The balcony has a great view of the whole thing.
Actually, the gendarmerie really needs to talk to
Is
you.
it really that important?
Yes, I'm trying to solve a murder.
Like a nervous cat, he keeps stealing looks at the neighboring windows.
All right, but make it quick. Once I finish this cigarette, I have to run.
Looks like I got a good view of the willing backyard. Can you tell me anything about the hanging?
I'd even go so far as to say that the view is a little too good, my dear gendarme. Do you have an estimate of when the body will be taken away?
We will remove the body as soon as possible. Now tell us, where were you last Sunday?
Oh. You already asked me that, didn't you?
Wait, is someone else investigating the lynching?
Did you? Look at Kim.
No, not you two. Some more muscular type.
And when did you speak to this more muscular gentleman?
The lieutenant takes out this blue little notebook and writes something down.
Last week? I don't know. Look.
He looks around the courtyard again. Snow blankets, the old patio chairs, and dead houseplants. And all the neighboring windows are black.
A downy blanket of white to cover up the miserable poverty of the scene.
You didn't answer the question. What were you doing last Sunday?
I had a friend over.
What kind of friend?
It was my Sunday friend.
What's your friend's real name? Did he see something?
He doesn't reply, gesturing no with his cigarette. Under the grey sky, snow continues to pile on the neighboring windowsills.
Can you tell me your name?
My name? My name is Martin Martinez.
That's definitely not his real name.
Okay,
You're not
Mr.
actually called
Marvel
Martin
character.
Martinez, are you?
No, of course not. Could you please lower your voice?
He scans the courtyard. It's silent like the bottom of a well, every sound captured and reflected back.
No. We won't.
He takes one last drag of his cigarette before stubbing it out on the snowy balcony with a dying hiss.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I really need to get going.
Convince him to stay. That's a good.
This isn't the place or time for
Hey!
questions. Who knows who might be watching from the distance, hidden behind the curtains?
Hey, listen. I'm just trying to make things okay again. Can we meet somewhere else?
For a moment, the man on the balcony seems almost vulnerable. Something moves in the depths of his feline eyes. Compassion and a hint of understanding. There's snow gathering on his hair and on his shoulders. A speckle of white against the purple that hangs loose on his slender frame.
I am sorry, but I really don't have the information you're looking for.
His voice is soft and deliberate. With a flick of his wrist, he sends the cigarette butt sailing over the rail.
But, hold on, what's that? For a split second, his hand lingers, as though gesturing towards a stone placed right next to the front door. It's a sign.
Good luck with the investigation.
He walks away. Yeah, we got that part. Can we leave the cutscene now? Oh, it's a key. Spare key.
He's gone.
You should run after him, see where we're
No
at.
point in running. Tenements like these often have multiple exits. If he doesn't want to talk to us, then he'll know how to hide himself.
So we just give up.
He could be a witness. Him or his Sunday friend. Either way, we need to look into that muscular type who's asking about our case. He did leave us a sign. Did you see that? He wanted to draw our attention to that stone right over there.
The lieutenant nods toward a small rock in a soggy patch of grass.
If we find a way inside the building, we can ask around for his apartment.
Great, let's do that.
A stone, like any other, lying in a whirl of sleet and mud. Maybe there's something under it. There's a key beneath it, rusty from the dirt.
This must be for the front door. Pity he doesn't have the apartment number on it. This building has many apartments, and the man can be in any of them.
How are we gonna find the right one?
We'll just have to go in and see.
Put the stone back. Eviction notices and missing pets are plastered on top of each other. Boxes filled with cleaning chemicals, smells of laundry detergent. Glasses?
I lost my glasses. Electrochemistry. We finally. Well, we gotta.
Authority. Jesus.
We gotta ask him. Be like, hey, how do I look now? And Kim's just like, you look fucking ridiculous.
Yes?
He's got nothing to say about it.
Yeah. Well, we should take them off because I think they were not good.
An old shoe rack. Boots,
Weren't they
sneakers, and
literally
old
just
slippers.
negative?
These shoes are 3 different sizes. Let's see. Glasses had one logic.
Oh
and
no!
this one
What am I
authority.
saying? I was looking at some other item.
Yeah, it's -3 authority, which I don't like. That is the thing I don't like about them.
Oh. Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. For some reason, thought that was a plus. Like both pluses. I was like, wait, why did I think it was bad? Oh no, I was looking. Alright, I'm dumb.
Someone's drawn a 5-pointed star on the wall.
Lele!
Oh, crazy. The door number 9 is locked. What's this? Money!
Money!
I like money.
Money!
Money! Dude, there's money everywhere in here.
Wait, what about the mailbox? You didn't check the mailbox. Like
Did I?
the other.
Oh, okay, I didn't see
Yeah,
that.
right there.
Let's go.
I don't think you checked that.
What is this? Postcard from Boogie Street. This crumbled up postcard depicts an open-air market on Boogie Street 5 years ago, and it smiles as dead roosters line its stalls, hung by their feet from a canopy. Red blood flows in the muddy street, blurry shadows of people pass. Lieutenant's handkerchief. Blue oblong pen. Empty cassette case. There used to be a tape in this case, but it was destroyed in a fit of rage. Something about the Eteniers single, smallest church in the St. Saints, must have rubbed someone the wrong way. The label says the song was recorded in 43. Kind green ape pen. A pen with a green ape head on one end. The ape has closed its eyes, a kind of expression adoring its face. It seems to be meditating. Apartment 8, the mailbox is overflowing. Rectificator says a firing squad for the rich.
Give me a moment.
An elderly woman is leaning on her broom, her knuckles white as bone. She seems to be having a difficulty breathing.
The cold never does any good for my bronchitis.
She sneezes into a dirty handkerchief. Are you alright? Should I call a doctor?
I'm fine. Fine. Don't you worry about me.
She starts coughing. Red spots appear on her cheeks.
Oh, never mind.
You're
I was
still
about to say,
worried.
she just sneezed
It's
once,
very
bro.
worrying.
Now, What do you want from me, policeman?
She's the cleaning lady. She knows the floor plan and the residents.
I'm looking for a young male in his mid-20s, dark hair, skinny build, smoking on the balcony.
Yes, yes. I know who you mean. The scrawny boy who's always smoking like the devil, right?
She looks at the end of the hallway.
Somewhere in the building, a child starts crying. You hear a radio tuned to a talk show and someone taking a shower.
What's he in trouble for?
No trouble. Just want to talk to him. Do you know where he lives?
Talk?
The cleaning lady starts laughing, but it turns into a violent coughing spasm. She squeezes her broom, trying to catch her breath.
What was so funny about that?
He lives upstairs in room 28. Go to the balcony. It's one of those doors there. He's usually home in the evening.
Thank you. We should go check out his apartment on the balcony. See if he's home.
She's probably laughing
Rob
because
who?
she's like, she's probably like, he's not gonna talk to you. You dumb bitch. You don't know him.
Who are you?
I'm
This
no
guy does
one.
not like you guys.
Just an old woman who cleans these hallways.
Do you live here?
If you can call it living. I have a little room upstairs right next to the coal room. It's barely bigger than a closet. But I don't complain, no. I have my bed and my aching bones to keep me company. And that's all I need from this world.
She hasn't spoken to anyone for a while. Even her sentences feel rusty.
Any questions about those apartments?
Ask away, policeman.
Is one of the residents on vacation? The mailbox is overflowing.
People come and go. I don't keep an eye on everyone.
They probably just
Actually,
moved
you do
or
know,
died. Hopefully
but you
somewhere
don't want
else.
to tell us.
That's all, thanks.
She mumbles some kind of a response, then hacks something into her handkerchief.
Thanks, I'm off. Any more things to collect for money?
Money.
It reads foreclosed by Martinez Realty Associates.
Oh man, I want to walk down the exit though.
Someone has torn down the wall. Sea below looks cold and winter gray. Oh, we're back outside.
Could we also have done anything if we tapped on that other door?
We shall see. Keepside Apartments. Rue de Saint-Guilain. Inside the frame of motorcycle in repair, and the tools used to disassemble it. There's a girl up there. Did she spill the paint?
Hey, up here,
The streets will flow red once more. A great torrent rushing down Rue de Esperance. You wait and see.
The streets will not flow red with anything. Who are you?
I'm Cindy the fucking Skull. What else do you want to know? Date of birth, blood type, the last time I was tested for Hep C.
Well, yes, actually. In fact, if we could
Let's
start,
start with your blood type and go from there.
Go where? Accosting a minor?
Listen to your partner, pigman. Keep your grubby hooves off little old ladies.
Despite the attitude, she puts the brush aside. What are you doing to the wall?
Can't you tell? I'm painting a beautiful mural, an aereo graffitio visible from low orbit. I haven't really started it yet. I'm waiting for the right words.
She studies the wall, suddenly pensive. Why are you so committed to facing a building? I have an opinion on this. I want to hear it. So you don't know what's right.
Have you ever tried your hand at graffitio? When faced with a blank wall, most people write unimaginative stuff, like pigs go home and Mona was here. We rarely see pigs round here, though. Just union cards. And my name's not Mona, so...
She wants it to be something true and total.
Why are you so committed to facing the building?
This place is severely lacking in havoc. Not even the occasional trash can fire to break up the tedium. I thought I'd mix it up, you know, summon the forces of crime and social chaos with a wall-sized invitation.
I have an opinion on this. You want to hear it?
Yeah?
I love public art. Don't mind us. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thanks. I'm sure the inspiration will come to me. Now that I have an official RCM stamp of approval.
She means the opposite. You've lessened her desire to deface the building.
You keep looking off to the side. What are you looking
The
at?
lieutenant furrows his brow at another one of your eccentricisms.
She nods disdainfully toward the woman performing maintenance on the boat dock next to the pier.
Hatred, disgust. It's difficult to tell which of the two is more present in her girlish features. The woman on the boat does not notice her staring.
That is on her. Someone's got to keep an eye on her.
Ozon is an archipelago 2 days' travel away from Rivershore. Its moneyed residents, used to posh restaurants and upscale boutiques, rarely have reason to visit Martinez.
Who is she?
Probably
go
the
be
Wild
upstairs.
Pines rep. We should talk to her. She's a professional negotiator, though. I have the feeling she will be very cooperative while telling us nothing. You should take the lead. Ask her unexpected questions, you know? Do your thing. Don't be afraid to get a bit wacky. Throwing her off is our best bet.
Good idea, piggies. Run along now. Fuck her shit up good. Impound that boat while you're at it. I'd like to watch her swim back to Ozon.
Do you know anything about the recent murder?
I ain't no snitch, pigstein. Go forth and forage in someone else's shit. No shortage of squealers in these parts.
Actually, there is a shortage of people who talk to us in a normal, calm, informative manner.
This is true.
We weren't put on this earth to make your life pleasant, fucko.
Catch you later, Cindy.
Well,
Watch
you're
your
just
back,
unnecessarily rude,
ungulate.
aren't you?
You've got eyes on you.
No fucking shit. More money, please? Money? I'm rich.
Cindy the Skull really just be like, ah yes, let me just say fucking shit in every goddamn sentence.
Wow, I know a person who's like that. Their name's like Vivio, something like that.
No, their name is like Autumn.
Shitty ass.
You remember that? I don't remember what video it was, but no, it was one of the Fear and Hunger episodes right after you died, where I was like, I'm gonna put a fuck counter on screen, and there was like 6 in a row from you.
Your room is really isn't much bigger than a slug. This is worth more than any other life.
A striking woman leans against the cabin top of her sailing boat, smiling as you approach. Her green raincoat glistens with droplets. A silk scarf is tied around her throat.
Good afternoon, officers. I'm Joyce.
She extends her hand and greets you.
Joyce L. Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbour. You gentlemen must be from the RCM.
What exactly is the RCM? I remember hearing it somewhere.
I meant you, the Revachol Citizens Militia, the police.
You should know.
Joyce L.
It's like
what does the L
asking-
stand for?
Dayton, my maiden name.
Say again?
That's like asking Autumn what BSB is. You know, it's like,
L. Does it stand for light yagami?
no, it says she literally said Layton. If anything, it stands for Professor Layton.
What gave us away?
Nothing, honestly. I've said it to every drunk in town, and you're the first one who's responded.
Relax. She meant it in jest.
Shake her hand.
I'm glad to see you here.
The grip is tight and cold.
I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to assist the RCM in this matter, I will. Gladly.
That is good to
Why,
hear,
thank
madame.
you.
My colleague will take the lead on this interview. I should let you know that he is recovering from an unusual medical episode. Very unusual. But I can assure you of his ultimate competency.
There's a trace of irony in his voice. Mischief, even.
Time
This
to
is
fuck
a
shit
fact.
up.
How interesting. I wish
You're
you a
on a
swift
boat.
recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my full cooperation, and the full cooperation of the Wild Pines group.
You're on a boat.
You're on a
Why,
boat.
yes, I am.
She looks back on her feet. Green and white sails overhead.
The sky is blue. The water is green.
Does she have a name?
The boat? No. It is called Cordelati 19, because that's the type of sloop it is.
The word "it" feels strange. Such a beautiful boat deserves a proper name.
Cool, but your boat really needs a name.
Okay. How about Cordelati 19? Why?
She taps on the side of the boat and makes a hollow sound.
Because it was manufactured in Revachol East by a company called couh, and its hull is 19 paces long.
Sleek fish, X something.
Bye
How
bye,
about
bit
Dolores?
fun.
How about the X
The
something?
X something.
The
The
ex-wife.
X what?
The
Thank
ex-wife.
you for the suggestion. I see the word has emotional resonance for you. For me, sadly, none. So I will stick with the factory name.
Okay, but what kind of boat is it?
It's a pleasure craft, a 19-pacer. It also happens to be rated for Category 1 racing. Though these days I mainly use it for business.
How do you like it?
My sloop, I like it a lot. It's the eel's hips, baby.
So we really just asked the most nothing burger question.
Yeah, we're supposed to throw her off.
I'm enjoying this part of the interview. It has so little to do with the murder we're investigating.
I really do, the lieutenant thinks. Is she thrown off yet? He's looking at the woman, assessing her.
You have a license for this boat?
Officer, I assure you I'm a highly qualified pleasure craft operator.
The crowns of her teeth are porcelain, white as the boat's hull as she smiles. Her nonchalance might be related to something called the Wayfarer Act, a law that says she doesn't need a license. Sly Fox, you're not aggressive enough to harass her further on this.
Not a lot of people on boats, are there?
Of course there are. We're on an archipelago. How else are you supposed to get around?
Wait, we're on an archipelago?
Yes, we are. We are on Le Caillou.
Caillou?
Caillou.
Caillou? I thought we were on Revachol.
We are. And the city of Revachol is on the island of Le Caillou.
I still haven't seen anyone else who boat around here.
I haven't seen anyone else drive a souped-up Capri Canema motor carriage either.
Actually, that motor carriage
Yeah,
has
I'm
been
the only
specially
one.
issued to serve as a patrol and pursuit vehicle. It's for crossing long distances in the greater Revachol industrial harbor. It's not a toy.
Neither is this. A toy, I mean. It's a machine for crossing long distances in the Bay of Revachol, between the city and the islands.
Oh my
We
god.
need to make this lady admit she's only riding around on this boat because she's rich.
Yes, I do.
You have the guns and the ammo. Take this Clausen fiend down.
Let's talk about economics of this boat you're on.
Oh my. The E word. You mean to say that it's a symbol of conspicuous consumption? That I'm a member of the ruling class?
Preciso Mundo, the war-class wartime baby.
Mm-hmm.
It's a symbol of subjugation, foreign capital, the kind of bad capital. Preciso Mundo.
Detective, may I remind you that Mrs. Messier is a professional negotiator.
He doesn't look like he thinks you'll best her in a single comment.
Then what does that say? Does
She
it
points to the
say
plaque.
docking reserved for residents of Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 33A? 33A? This old
Well, actually-
proletarian haunt here. As I said, plenty of people drive boats of all social strata.
Oh my god, Autumn, you...
What?
I was gonna say we shouldn't have gone for that.
Why?
Because, we're probably gonna fail it.
She takes a sip.
It's gonna happen.
Okay,
Something is about to happen. Point to your head in here.
of course.
Nothing happens for quite a while.
They will come from my head, the arguments.
As they do.
The thoughts happen inside his brain.
It will help.
It doesn't.
Keep waving your hand slowly.
My. It's as if there's a tiny spinner on the side of his head and he's reeling thoughts out.
Except he isn't.
The lieutenant is satisfied with where this is going.
That is going to come out of my head and to my mouth, and I will say it.
Of course.
Keep doing it.
Lieutenant, I truly don't understand what is happening here.
I told you his methods are unconventional.
I'm swear to God, I'm used to shit. I don't know what's happened. Why am I not killing it?
Your marbles on glass,
Bro, I'm
dear.
telling you.
Don't worry.
We are just...
What are we talking about?
Like, I get what we're trying to do with the whole misdirection type thing, but like, man, this is like to the extent to where it is so goddamn off topic that I don't even know
What we're talking about?
You know, it's
What are we talking about?
It was quite a while ago, but I think Yes, we were discussing my fast, large, ineluctably middle-class boat.
I think I have a handle on the boat thing.
Good.
You seem rich. Can I have some money?
Is what you want to say, but it isn't that easy, is it?
Well, why not?
Look at that lady. Take a gander. Squint your eyes, bub.
What nice fabrics.
Why, yes. Tucked away under that sturdy green raincoat, almost rustic in its simplicity, a silk shirt and matching scarf around her gentle throat. While dull orange pearls hang from her earlobes, red from the cold. Her light green eyes scan you, full of knowledge and worry. Wealth and all its possibilities. These are the kind eyes of the rich man that seem to say everything is possible, within reason.
Yeah, so?
Now look at you, you misery-clad simian, barely able to tie your own laces. Your armpits are lakes. A scythe of booze precedes you. Your hair sticks to your forehead, and your underwear feels uncomfortable. You're poor, poor as balls. You can't ask this person for money. You're too.
You're too. I'm not ashamed. What is this feeling? I've never felt it before. I'm a goddamn working man. I'm not ashamed to shake this leech for some dough. Yeah.
You think your little communism protects you from this feeling? No. The more demeaning it is to grovel at her feet.
As I was saying, if there's any way I may be of assistance, please don't hesitate to ask.
I am sorry. It just doesn't come out of your mouth. What does is surprisingly eloquent, really. The last one, not the first three. Those are ape speak.
Money.
Excuse me? I didn't hear you. Did you say money?
Literally us this whole playthrough. Money! Money! Money!
No, I didn't. Let's talk about something
Of
else.
course.
You seem smart. Blah, blah, blah. Tell me about what plans. Can you tell me about the strike? Can you tell me about the lynching?
Blah, 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 blah.
You seem smart. I need someone to give me some lowdown on this reality we're in.
This reality.
Yes, reality is your
She's just
side
like,
case.
well, it was a long time ago.
An
It all started when I was born.
side case.
I am conducting a personal investigation of the world I find myself in. I got so drunk I literally forgot everything. No time to just give me a lowdown. Actually, it's not a good time for that. I'm conducting a personal investigation of the world I find myself
How
in.
truly curious. A sort of philosopher detective.
My theory is that the inquiry into the nature of reality will ultimately converge with our murder investigation. They are really one and the same.
Are they now?
The Lieutenant cocks one eyebrow.
A deep synthesis. I'll assist you however I can then. Go ahead. Ask.
All right, we're in. I know these all look good, but begin with the first, okay?
Where are we?
We're in Martinez, baby.
Baby?
A casual term of endearment popular among the 50-plus crowd. It's a disco holdover, pay it no heed.
What is this Martinez?
Martinez is a district of Revachol. A very small district tucked away near the industrial harbour. North of the 881 and Jamrock. You would be excused for not knowing about it. Unimportant, they
steal the
say.
boat.
Forgotten
No.
even. Shelled to smithereens during the Revolution. It has its charms, just not this time of year.
You mentioned a sea. What sea is this?
It's not really a sea, it's the Bay of Revachol. And the bay feeds into the ocean.
Are we near the ocean?
Yes.
What is an
We're
ocean?
on an island in an ocean. The world's largest body of water. The Insulindic.
What is water?
Known to the early Revacholians as Les Immensités Bleues, the blue immensities, vast, lukewarm and unknowable, flowing in and out of sight.
Tell me more about
I'm
Martinez.
not a good ambassador. I've only been here once before, as a teenager. Not a lot has changed. There are ruins, a terminal, fishing boats, reeds, boys with boxy shoulders. This place used
Speaking
to
of
be a
boys with
province,
boxy. Oh,
a
hold on.
workers' resort before the city swallowed it and the artillery did its work. The reeds are the real star of the show here now. The further down the coast, the wilder it gets.
You were saying?
Yeah. Speaking about boys with boxy shoulders. No. We meant the person Martinez. You know Martin Martinez? That's definitely the real name. That guy?
Yeah, that guy.
You know him?
Yeah, that guy.
That guy. Yeah, that guy. We want to know about him.
What's the name of this island?
Caillou, as you already know.
I'm
Imagine
sorry.
a pebble.
That's not going to get old.
Smoothed over pebble amidst a great blue sea, misshapen, cracked. The cracks are the River Esperance. We're in the delta of this river, on the 6th branch, the Martinez distributary.
It is clear this pebble is of enormous value to her and to humanity at large.
Tell me about another fundamental, perhaps even more fundamental aspect of reality.
I would be happy to. What is a preposterously expensive education for, if not sharing?
What times are these?
These are unimportant times, Detective. You and I were born after the dust had settled. 1,000th of a second too late.
Too late for what?
For the big time.
What's the big time?
The revolution.
Huh. And what is this revolution I keep hearing about?
It's quite easy. Every 100 years or so, our species gets together to decide what's next. Who gets shot in the head, and who gets the mineral rights. It's a real kerfuffle.
Would you say it was a bunch of apes duking it out?
Why, of course. We're talking Duke Out Central. Full swing intraspecies warfare.
And the apes, were they evil?
No. I would say the apes were neutral.
Sounds like evil to me.
On the other hand, maybe you're right.
When was this kerfuffle?
Turn of the century revolution? Don't answer it. It's a trick question. The revolution began in '02 on the Isla of Grad, though by the end nearly the whole world had gotten involved. It
Who
wasn't
started
a
it?
who, but a what. A pandemic of Zarat, a particularly virulent prion disease, which the authorities in Grad proved unable to contain. Then Marzolf came along and overthrew the government.
What did this Sraff do?
It made people overthrow their governments.
Well, really?
Of course not. It was a highly infectious microorganism that destroyed brain tissue. The actual causes of the revolution were material.
Oh, you're serious?
The pandemic only provided the spark.
Where did it spread from there?
From Revachol and Grad? Not far. The world managed to cauterize itself. Marzolf's government was overthrown in '08, and the coalition crushed the Revachol commune 2 years later. It was the end.
What came next?
Why? You and I, officer. Our lives in the zone of control.
Something tells you her life and yours are not that similar. Maybe it's because she has a boat and you have that necktie? A pair of pants?
Our lives are very different from each other.
No doubt. But we share the same time and position on the planet's crust. That counts for more than you think.
What is the zone of control?
A city-state divided into free market zones under the everlasting interregnum of the Coalition of Nations. And you, of course, the citizens' militia.
The clatter of typewriter keys fills the main hall of the reappropriated silk mill. Precinct 41. Chad Tilbrook presses enter. Outside, Officer Elfboy Williams slams the door of an armored motor carriage.
The zone of control is the third incarnation of Revachol, after the failure of the suzerain and the commune.
What happened to the rest of the world?
Modernity. They developed the marvels of the inter-eastlery communication. Telematic milieus, radiation, coloured plastics. Meanwhile, in Revachol West, the aftermath continues for the 5th decade.
51 minus 8 equals 43.
What you're saying it's been like this for 43 years.
Time flies.
What have we been doing all this time?
The 20s saw a decade of urban war, west of the river levelled, offshore platforms in flames. Still, it's regarded as an improvement on what came before. '08 to '19 was simply hell.
And after that?
The 30s? Things settled down in the 30s. Revachol East transformed itself into the world's largest tax haven, with the international community's blessing. For the first time in a long time, It seemed like things were going somewhere.
Were they?
No. It was a market mirage fueled by cocaine and quantitative easing. The 40s dispelled it like a cold splash. An Isla-wide hangover, you might say. And here we are.
She cuts
Welcome to reality, baby.
From the looks of it, the 50s haven't been much better for the zone of control. You can see it in her eyes. Days slipping away.
You don't seem to be thrilled.
I've no right to be dissatisfied. This shirt is Barbara Muscova, this raincoat is impervious to rain and is guaranteed for 100 years. My daughters will wear it. No, it's just...
She looks at the crumbling tenements, paint flecking from the stone.
We could have had so much more. Every one of us. If only we played it right.
Who got shot in the head?
Those would be the communists. Generally speaking, 40 million people got shot in the head during the World Revolution. But the communists...
It's a lot of people. It's a lot of
got
heads.
shot in the head.
She's not gloating. It's a relieved celebration.
Oh, and the anarchists too. They shot them well. So well, one forgets they even existed.
Did the communists and the monarchists shoot back?
Did they ever? Before they got shot themselves, they shot 2 million people.
Sounds like people should have shot more people in the head then. Truly a kerfuffle.
Yeah, it was a kerfuffle, all right.
The lieutenant mumbles behind his notes.
Yes. The Insulindian deluge, they call it.
Anyone else get shot in the head on the opposing side?
Oh, lots of people. Even the king got shot in the head, or thrown beneath a horse, or drowned. Accounts differ. It was unceremonious.
She
Just
shakes
as
her
well,
head.
he wasn't actually the king. Just the king's nephew. The real king abdicated and lived out a long and productive life as a venture capitalist in Grad.
I don't care about kings. Tell me one more thing. Cowardly king.
I prefer the term risk-averse. King Guillaume was nobody's fool. He could smell a PR disaster brewing. So he got out alive, and his nephew Fricelle got shot in his place. Him and tens of thousands of his wonderfully fascist kingsmen. It was a wild time.
Who got the mineral
The
rights?
liberals got the mineral rights.
The liberal!
And by mineral rights,
Oh my god.
I mean everything.
Okay, and by liberals, you mean...
Liberals are usually middle-class people, detective. Or the remaining gentry. The beneficiaries of the pre-revolutionary arrangement. Some were rich enough to stay with the constitution, with monarchy. Big mistake. Others bet on the revolution. They were called the ultras, or ultra-liberals. They fared well.
Ultra-liberals sound bad. How do liberals win it all?
They didn't win so much as survive. We were the last ones standing when the war ended. Everyone
Get
else got
back
shot
to
in the
me.
head, remember?
Get back to me when you find out about ultra-conservatism.
She's one of them. Of course.
If everyone got
The
shot...
disdain in Rhetoric's voice when he said one of them. One of them, of course.
If everyone got shot in the head, who's there to surrender
The
to?
foreign intervention. The coalition. Those people really took the mineral rights.
Wait, you just said the liberals already took everything.
The liberals took everything that wasn't nailed to the ground. The coalition took the ground. The ocean, the laws, and the people.
Well, the ocean isn't the ground, dumbass. Who are the coalition?
The coalition of nations. Grad, Mest,
Well, the ocean is
Espen,
on a ground.
Messina, Oranje, and Sur-le-Clay, the armed center of the world. They landed here and ended the revolution. It was the moralist thing to do.
Well, the liberals should have taken the ocean because the ocean's not nailed to the ground. She just lied.
There is bitterness in her voice, tempered with understanding. She is critical, but ultimately understands the cause.
Moralist.
The moralists believe in keeping everything exactly the way it is. They believe in mineral rights and not shooting people in the head. At least not in the same manner and volume as the others do. They are the long-standing provisional rulers of Revachol now, the coalition government. This is their zone of control. They embolden the RCM with crumbs of the same law they took. Technically speaking, you are a moralist.
The color of moralism is blue. The official motto of Moral Intern, or Moralist International, is a blue forget-me-not, a piece of grey sky. Unofficial. For a moment, there was hope.
Not just technically, practically, for a moment there was hope. Always picking the option to commit anything, then hell yes I am, and also not.
A devout man of the center. Hard to come by. It's good to have someone who takes a moderate approach to head shooting. In your line of work, I mean.
What would you have done differently?
Good question. What would you have done differently?
I would have sought medical solutions. Sounds like Strath drove people mad. More?
Whoa, 400 million? Bro,
Yeah,
we're
what's the
just like,
solution?
we're on our way for, well, actually, wait, no, that would be a spoiler.
Would have sought a
I was going to
medical
say we're on
solution.
our way to becoming like this character, but then I was like, well, and then I thought of a few other characters, and I was like, no, this is all spoilers for every story that I can.
I would have sought a medical solution. Sounds like Strath drove people mad.
So a quarter of humanity simply lost their minds. And how would you stop a prion? A complex folding protein, unlife, with the technology 50 years ago.
With some hygiene, modest social care, and
Good hygiene. Really. A very moderate solution to an extreme problem. It's those sort of half measures that doomed the authorities in Grad. When they failed to step up, Marzov and his party stepped in. In this particular case, maybe a more robust state response might have been appropriate.
Opinions expressed here do not reflect the official position of the RCM.
And what is your official position, Lieutenant?
My position, ma'am? My parents got ripped to shreds in the revolution. I would have gone the same way. I was saved by being 2 years old. That's my position. The abattoir.
Understandable.
that's enough about the
They
times.
are what they are. Who knows? An afterbloom may yet come. Anyway, enough sentimentality. Is there anything else you want to know?
Not so fast. Who is she in all this? Ask her who she is. She owes you an answer.
I want to know what you are.
She won't maneuver her way out of this one.
What are you?
I am the vilest of the vile. A traitor. A devourer of nations and infants. I am an ultra.
Dios mio, draw a cross. A liberal! Yeah! Cool, I liberate pretty hard myself.
A liberal!
Yes. I am the nether creature of the Forbidden Swamp. I pushed the king under a shit wagon and betrayed the revolution.
I love her.
My kind surrendered the nation to financial colonists. I can see you thought we'd gone extinct. After all, no sane person identifies as an ultra-liberal anymore. Not in broad daylight. You're a centrist at heart. A real moralist, no? Tell me, now that I've uncoiled myself, do you find me frightening?
In her green eyes, you see a mixture of truth and self-satire. Decades of guilt and pride.
I don't care, really.
A fitting punishment, to be forgotten, if not forgiven. Save a prayer for us in our chateaus on Ozon and in Stella Maris. When the dust settled, the liberals were the only ones left to clean up the mess. By virtue of their survival, they were handed enormous power to shape the future. This was all our last generation managed.
Would you have done something differently?
With due respect to our overlords, the eternal caretaker government that keeps Martinez a monument to the efficacy of its artillery, I would not have relinquished sovereignty to the coalition. Not here in Martinez, and not in the Stella Maris or Delta Beachheads either. If not for my own sake, then for my daughters. We had an obligation to defend our sovereignty. We should have burned the whole Isla down rather than let them have it.
Dark orange flames reflect in her green eyes. An oil fire on the ocean.
You're a patriot.
Yes, I suppose I am. But I wouldn't be a patriot anywhere but here.
Seditious talk, ma'am.
You're a smart woman.
Perhaps. My intellectual vanity will be my undoing.
You're no dummy yourself.
So am
A
I.
Kinda like
smart
number
boy
2.
getting
Aw, damn.
smarter, one basic term of reality at a time.
You have daughters?
Yes. Whatever else I am, I'm also a mother and a wife. Now, shall we return to reality?
What is this?
A bird?
A plane?
Spenicid? A flightless bird of the polar regions?
Keep guessing.
Some sort of krill hunter? No, wait. You're an ancient ruin. A symbol of hubris and decay. Half submerged in some salty sea.
Are you saying I'm ruined?
Of course you're not, my dear. I'm just terrible at guessing games.
I meant, what is this place here?
Ah. This is the pier of Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 33A, where the tenants have been kind enough to rent me a slot. Or two.
What is the Rue de Saint-Ghislain
A
at 33A?
pre-revolutionary tenement. Old buildings are called tenements, you see. And new buildings, bâtiments. After, les bâtiments nouveaux. But 33A and 33B are not nouveaux. They're old.
She looks up the crumbling facade.
This one used to be 8 to 10 stories tall. A real high-rise by the standards of the last century. Built to mirror the skyscrapers across the bay in the Delta. That was before the war, of course.
Who lived in them?
Mostly the urban middle class, I believe. This was once primo real estate, before the cannons lopped 4 or 5 stories off.
Splat, splat.
From a dilapidated balcony, Cindy the Skull gives Joyce the evil eye, her red paintbrush held to her throat.
Wonderful.
You could hear us from all the way over there?
What is that? Point to Cindy the
The
Skull.
girl in the old lady rags.
Yes.
Looks like a sullen and rebellious member of a teen infraculture.
Infraculture?
Yes. You and I belong to the supraculture. We're common, the herd. The music on the radio, the food in the chain restaurant, those are all too popular for the girl in the old lady rags. She prefers a fantasy world, an infraculture with its own dress code and vernacular. It is an illusion, I'm afraid. There is no refuge from the supraculture.
Okay, but now explaining the same thing but to a child.
Young people who dye their hair funny colours and wear old people's clothes are stupid, and their little rebellion is self-defeating. All right, what next?
Suddenly, you're not so sure you're part of the supraculture.
I think I might be part of infraculture.
And what would that be?
Disco!
I can see that, yes. I dabbled in those dark arts myself, not so long ago. I assure you, it was a thoroughly supracultural phenomenon. All permeating. Downright mandatory. Nothing infra about disco, baby.
Your disco?
Those days are long behind me. And even in the early 30s, I would say I was more of a new girl. Disco was a minor, but still enjoyable facet of the whole thing for me.
The new?
The new. A cultural era. And the name of the decade it ravished, the 30s. It came out of post-revolutionary Revachol. It was ultra-liberal. It involved lots of partying, as you might imagine, and champagne-coloured everything. By the looks of it, that would have been when you came of age. Now.
Esprit de quoi? Try it.
6
Ooh!
kilometers southwest. of
Let's
the Valley
go.
of Dogs. Junior officer Chad Tilbrook takes aim at a rabid black dog licking its wounds in the grass. To his left, his partner, Emil Mullins, whispers, "You heard what happened to Tequila Sunset in Martinez?" "Yes, he lost his mind," Tilbrook answers, fingers on the trigger. "Don't worry, Emil." He pulls it out slowly. Slowly now. He'll find it again. We always do.
What am I?
You? You're an officer of the RCM.
The Revachol Citizens Militia.
Preciso mundo.
Good. And what was with the Revachol Citizens Militia?
Did
Good.
we-
And
I feel
what
like
is
this
the
one's
Revachol
familiar,
Citizens
right?
Militia?
Nothing more
Yeah.
nor less than the de facto law enforcement body.
Yeah,
of
we heard
this
this one already.
Revolutionary Revachol, detective.
Yes, we are the Revachol Citizens Militia.
He's being sarcastic.
Are we?
We are.
You said de facto.
Yes, that means not de jure. The RCM acts in what is poetically called the twilight of international law, both at the behest of the coalition government and to its chagrin.
What do you mean?
The RCM's responsibilities are defined by the Emergency, Wayfarer and Aliments Acts, three pieces of legislation keeping the city in a, let's be honest, laissez-faire stasis to the benefit of foreign capital.
All three are good to know when we are out policing.
So I'm basically a lackey of capital.
There's nothing basic about your role, detective. It's true that the RCM keeps everything the way our seemingly permanent provisional rulers like it. Yet, on the other hand, I know these people. I deal with them daily. Let me tell you, dear, they are not fans of you.
Why?
The
Well, I think we
post-revolutionary
figured that out by
decade
now.
was a disaster for the coalition government. Revachol in the 20s was hell, especially on the west side of the river. Gang warfare, a botched privatization scheme, a nuclear pile meltdown. They called it the international zone because no nation wanted to claim responsibility. The RCM restored peace where the coalition failed. A true blue citizens' initiative. They will never forgive you.
Sag.
That's somewhat of an exaggeration. In reality, ours is a mutually beneficial arrangement. Revacholians get to keep the peace in Revachol, and the coalition doesn't have to worry about it. Anyway, sorry to intrude. Please continue.
Yes, Lieutenant. Permit me to conclude with this. Who you are, to me, is the police. The only legitimate law enforcement authority in Revachol. And if the law officials of our nation need help with the basic terms of reality, well, then I'm here to help.
A strange coldness comes over you as you look at the world. The waves sway the sloop slowly. That's all.
That's all for now.
Glad to have been
No,
of assistance.
oh wait, yeah, the RCM
The
again.
little that
Going
I
over.
know.
That was.
Anything else I can do?
Oh my god. Tell me
Just saw,
about the
I just
wild
saw
pines.
I saw the RCM one was like, but that's still not grayed out, and then I was like, wait a minute. That would literally just be the same dialogue option.
Tell me about the wild pines.
Wild pines, it is.
What do you do?
What we do? I'm afraid I don't speak for Wild Pines as a whole. It's a giant undertaking.
There was a touch of discomfort there. She wants to merely represent.
So what do they do?
The Pines' core competency is logistics. Container shipping, freight, that sort of thing. See those airships there, blinking? Those are the shipping side of things. And that is the terminal. Another subdivision deals with energy, oil and gas exploration, offshore platforms.
The Wild Pines Group is one of the original Revacholian Indo-tribes. Companies awarded royal monopolies by the king, the suzerain himself, centuries ago. The king is long gone, but several of the Indo-tribes remain.
Who are the other Indo tribes?
Son-Baptiste, Elysium, an unknown entity known as Brightest Star.
You're in good company, it
Why,
seems.
thank you.
She does not. She's not registered the real meaning of the remark. How much money does Wild Pines have?
I'm not at liberty to discuss the company balance sheet, but I can tell you that last year, the company booked more than 20 billion real in revenue.
A billion?
What exactly is a billion?
It's a number, officer. A big one.
What is it made of?
It's made of 1,000 millions. A million is made of 1,000 thousands.
That's it. I thought the Wild Pines were supposed to be big time.
And to think, there are years when the group books losses in the billions.
A wave hits the sloop. She grasps for mainstay for
Wild
balance.
Pines employs 72,000 people, all of
Damn!
whom have families that depend on their salaries. It is a tremendous responsibility.
Where do the Wild Pines get all these billions?
They started as an exploration and cargo fleet conducting trade between the Samaran and Insulindian Isolas 250 years ago, when Pine ships explored the South Seminese and charted Lormantang on behalf of the suzerain. Centuries of care, deliberation, and madness have gone into this endeavor. Vessels pass through the great unrest to re-emerge with apricots in tow. The logic of the system is totalizing. It's taken everything from its employees to build it.
It probably helps to start out with a royal monopoly.
You know more than you let on. Certainly it helped, but most of the original Indo tribes have failed or been absorbed. To survive, Wild Pines had to grow and adapt. No suzerain did that.
What is a huge system with a place like this?
You mean aside from being the terminal's legal owners, who are responsible for moving 8% of the world's cargo?
You don't keep it moving, the workers do. The company's nothing without them.
We built this district.
We. There it is. She owns up to it.
All the best parts of it. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, with its bastions. The plazas Meteor and Mosaic. Even some of the old street lamps have been put back thanks to the investments from the WP.
She points behind you where the seawall rises.
Before Martinez was swallowed by the industrial harbour, even before it was part of Revachol, long before Terminal B was erected here, the Pines built it as a resort for its Revacholian employees.
Calm Reader will be back.
A company getaway, for a weekend or a summer holiday. Then came the revolution. But that's another matter. I'm here to make sure the Pines can fulfill their responsibilities to the place they built.
With your help, hopefully, says her warm tone.
Can I
Ooh.
can I have some money? I heard billions.
Heard of billions!
Voila. You're
Yes!
Help me, I'm poor. I need money to keep living. You seem rich. Can I have some money?
Why, yes, I am rich. How much money do you need? Hopefully not too much. I couldn't bring all of it with me.
She's surprisingly nonchalant about this. If anything,
I need a
finding the aspect
billion
has
reals.
relieved some of the tension.
I think 130 is probably the right answer because it's like all
Not
of them
too
are
much.
multiples of 10, you know? Or not, well, you know what I mean. They all end in like 1 or 0. But 130 is like, all right, that's the odd one out. That's the black sheep. So
I need
think that's the right choice.
130 real.
That's a good sum. Not too small. Not fantastically
Yep,
large.
yep.
She reaches into a raincoat and pulls out a zip bag. In it you see paper notes arranged like black gifts.
She removes a few notes.
Oh,
and
I'm
reads
rich!
Fuck yeah.
The paper is cold and oily to the touch.
No,
So,
we're not
I
rich.
hope I
We're just
didn't
slightly less
bribe
poor.
you, officer. It may not be technically illegal under the Emergency Act, but still.
I am an honorable policeman, one of the few good men in
You're
Revachol.
right, man, that donations are permitted under the Emergency Act, unseemly as it may be, as long as they are properly logged with the precinct.
Which he most certainly will do. Now, how else can I help the RCM today, besides supplementing its salaries?
What can you tell me about this strike?
Everything. Right up to, but not including, trade secrets.
Wait, what if I want to hear about trade secrets?
First, you'd have to repeal the Emergencies Act of Trade and Aliments. That gives me the right to silence. It's quite the octopus.
An
Ugh,
octopus?
so
I
much
will slay it.
legal BS.
Good luck. It's only kept in place by the vested interests of half the civilized world, including your own.
What the ma'am means is that the Emergencies Act and the RCM both get their authority from the coalition government.
You'd be shooting yourself in the foot, in other words.
Leave it
But
alone.
I am derailing us. You wanted to know about the strike.
What is your role in this precisely?
I believe the official title is Senior Labor Negotiator. In practice, I'm a grocery clerk. I relay the union's demands to Wild Pines and return with Wild Pines' counteroffer.
No way. She's more. She can make decisions.
And how are the talks going?
They're not. That's the problem. The union stopped all negotiations a week ago, after that awful lynching took place. Now they won't even let me into the harbour. There's a 2-meter 20 racist behemoth blocking the gates.
Tell me more about this behemoth.
What can I say? The union employs a giant covered in tattoos. A racist giant. I guess that's part of their big tent organisation now.
How were the talks going before the lynching?
Let's say I was not making the kind of progress I'd hoped for when I first arrived.
And when did you first arrive?
I arrived 3 weeks ago. Yes, in the middle of February. The bay was still partially frozen then. I prefer to do these things on site, like the RCM.
But the strike began in December.
He looks at his notes.
I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gaumont despite concessions he'd granted the union in prior negotiations.
This isn't the first time the union has gone on strike.
Heavens no. There have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the union won significant concessions, including overtime pay and a medical plan. This time their demands are more, I guess you could say, aggressive.
Ludicrous, even. It's meant.
The scabs at the gate. Did you put them there? Tell me about the union boss, Mr. Clare. What other demands?
There are leaflets everywhere, and banners. What did they say again? Oh yes, every worker, a member of the board.
Most of the workers probably don't know what that means.
Over-aggressive commie posturing. Seems like they have no idea about business.
In its defense, another said, demand democracy. Pretty tame stuff compared to every worker, a member of the board.
Most of them probably don't know what that means.
Fortunately, they explained it. Every time the Wild Pines group makes a decision about anything, it needs the signature of each of the 2,200 workers in its Martinez terminal. Just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they are also kings of the 72,000 employees of Wild Pines Group.
The king is long dead.
Long
That
live
may
the,
well be.
Okay,
It's not
well,
up to me to decide who is king, but as negotiations go, it's not a swell start.
What are you going to do?
I'm not sure. Naturally, I assume that was just their opening position, a hard-nosed tactic with a side of mockery. But there's been no follow-up, just the same nonsensical slogan repeated over and over again. And now, people are getting lynched, I hear. Behind the whirling in rags. A disastrous situation if there ever was one.
Excuse me, from whom did you hear about this lynching?
I first heard it from the boyar at the gates. The one whose very name advertises his aversion to work. I think he said it was, "Call me mañana."
This checks out.
What about this union boss, Mr. Clare?
Everard Clare is a man of the utmost integrity. If you can say one thing about him, it's that he always puts the interests of the workers first. Of course not. Everard is fantastically corrupt. I imagine he has a thick, viscous goo where you and I have blood.
Say nothing.
He is the most corrupt
Yes,
individual
he sounds like he
I have
actually
ever
is that
seen,
bad.
And I deal with men like him for a living. If there is anyone more venal, more irredeemably nepotistic, then it's his twin brother, Edgar.
Wait, there are 2 of them?
Yes. Edgar looks exactly like his brother, except for that lazy eye. He also talks exactly like Everard does. And when one's term as foreman is up, the other takes over. It's how they circumvent the term limits, you see, with a funny little switcheroo. While in office, they've embezzled God knows how much of their workers' dues.
What about the union itself outside the Brothers Clare?
The Débardeurs Union was once a perfectly normal institution. 20 years ago, anyway. It must not have been easy to establish under the Emergency Act, but they did it. I can respect that. Organised labour at its best, as they say. Then something happened in the local chapter elections. The Brothers Clare came and transformed it into a... how do you say?
She hesitates, looking for the right expression.
A mob. The Débardeurs are a crime syndicate. Sad as it may be, I suspect we'll be forced to cooperate with them.
Refreshingly honest, officer. The company has tried appeasing in the past, but I'm afraid our concessions have only emboldened Everard and his brother.
She turns to you.
And your opinion, detective, if I may ask. I'm a curious and talkative person, you see. Would you say the Débardeurs Union is...
It doesn't sound good.
I'd say probably a giant leech sucking the life out of Revachol. I think
Indeed.
that's...
And a hungry one. Sadly, Wild Pines have cooperated with what amounts to a crime syndicate for 2 decades. However much you feed the leech always hungry.
It sounds like it sounded like it started out as a good thing, and then it just devolved into this thing that's just stealing.
Yeah.
The scabs at the gate. Did you put them there?
The scabs? You mean the huddled masses of Jamrock come to plead for work where the Union refuses to? If they were organized by Wild Pines or its affiliates, then it would be a company secret. I could not share it with you. Not right now, at least.
It's implied. She's open to discussing this matter with you at a later occasion.
What happened to this garment?
Mr. Clare told him to... How did he put it?
She pauses to compose herself.
Fuck off, midget. Gaumont is
Jesus.
statue, you see.
Got him.
Not cool.
Keep in mind, this is a negotiator Mr. Clare has worked with before, and who was more than fair with him and the Union.
One more thing. You said something that happened in the
I'm
elections.
glad you asked. There was a woman, the previous forewoman of the Union. She disappeared.
She's probably the one that was actually making it good use, but then the two brothers came over and fucked it up.
Disappeared?
Yes. On the last day of the local chapter elections, her daughter phoned in and said she wasn't running anymore, or coming to work. Ever. End of story.
Eerie.
Downright haunting, if you ask me. The Wild Pines suspected foul play, but what could they do? It was a Union matter. The point of the presentation is, these kinds of things happen around the Clares. Watch out when you're dealing with him.
Thank you for your concern, ma'am. We'll be just fine.
That's all I need here. Let's change the topic.
Of course. How else can I help?
What can you tell me about this lynching?
Quite a few things, I'm afraid.
She fell silent for a moment, contemplating something.
The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. The
We
sake of
got
my
'em!
employer, I have to ask for your names and badge numbers.
Well,
Of course, ma'am. We should have
that's a bit of a
introduced
problem.
I am Lieutenant Kitsura
Yeah.
from Precinct 57.
Uh,
And this is my colleague from Precinct 41. I'm afraid he doesn't have his badge at the moment. I hope mine will suffice.
How curious. Why is that, Detective?
Awkwardness washes over the
that's a
conversation.
good damn
The woman
question.
doesn't like this turn of events. 'Twas stolen by some artist, surely. Best to pin the blame on them. Everyone knows you can't trust artists.
Autumn.
3 is very honest.
Oh no, I thought you were about to say something about the British pronunciation of artist.
Autist. We all a little bit autistic inside.
Let's see. Why should I blame it on artist? Yeah, I'd say 3. Yeah.
I see. So, are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode?
It's crazy because we've talked to Joyce now for probably 30 minutes, and then now she's just like, wait a second. What the fuck?
What the hell?
Are you serious?
They could have eaten it
Like,
for a
I
long
told you
remember
all of
anything.
this, and
This
this
world,
is
city,
the
there's
thanks
nothing.
I get? You don't even have your whole goddamn badge?
Oh dear. I suppose this does explain some of the more curious turns in our conversation.
She must have been suspecting something for a while now.
As I said, ma'am, his technique may be very unconventional, but he is an officer of the RCM.
Of course.
Well, and plus,
I
since we've talked to her
sympathise,
for so long.
But I'm afraid I simply can't share anything more until I've seen that badge.
Hang on.
Fair enough,
She's
fair
a
enough.
professional negotiator.
Oh, yep.
She should
yep.
be open to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement.
But yeah, that's the
She's
thing
a
is, I think the fact
negotiator.
that we've
Just float a favor at her. Insinuate.
I think the fact that we built so much rapport through this whole conversation, it's like, you know, I think we might be able to get away with it. We might be able to, and I think we just did, to be honest.
Yeah, I think this is it. Surely there's some other way to demonstrate our law enforcement credentials.
I will be frank with you. If I'm going to break protocol, I need to be able to justify it to my superiors. They're going to want to see something very tangible.
You're in, but expect her to drive a hard bargain.
I know. We give her the plastic trash bag, and we're like, hey, this is collateral.
Yeah, there's probably like maybe 50 or 60 cents in here. You can have it. Honestly, I think I'm thinking that we could probably give her one of the paperworks from our old reports from our old.
Oh yeah, we do have that
investigations.
whole like fucking like clipboard with all those cases on there.
You're in, but expect her to drive a hard bargain. Like what?
Reports from inside Terminal
Yep.
B suggest it's a hub for the local drug trade. This is an open secret in Martinez. The Union controls the terminal, so it goes to reason.
They're profiting from this trade.
The company has tried looking into this matter before, to no avail. Perhaps someone with your authority and resources might turn over the right stones. Or you can recover your badge. Though if I may be blunt with you, it sounds like that may be a lost cause.
Detective, a word in private before we continue.
Excuse me for a moment, madam.
Wow, you work hard.
I do.
Oh, yes. You hustle. You're a provider.
Imagine he's
It's
just like,
tough out there,
no.
but you keep it
And
real
that's it.
and provide.
What hard work do I do exactly?
Look at yourself. You're a human pedometer. You must have walked 200,000 steps down cracked asphalt, mosaic, sand, and linoleum after you re-emerged. That is the sign of a hustler who never gives up. The world is harsh and people are evil.
I
You didn't make
fucking
it that way,
right.
and you won't let it break you.
I fucking
You
ride till I
ride.
die, bitch.
That's just what it's like. Life and death. But you got gills on your side, baby. Got those black papers with the faces of the innocents on them. You bring in the Franco Negros and the Solas. It ain't easy, but you do it. Day in and day out. You didn't make the rules, but you won't lose. You're a cop and a sprinter and a money printer.
I love that, like, he's just saying, like, yeah, you're a hustler because you can fucking walk. And I
You
imagine,
didn't
like,
log
the
that
main
in as a
character just,
donation
like,
either. You don't log any of that shit in. You're a straight rider.
he like adjusts his coat, and then he just starts walking more, and then fucking Walk by Pantera starts playing. He's like, oh, yeah, I'm the shit. I've walked 200,000.
I mean, yeah, I did take that bribe from the Joyce woman.
Oh yeah, you took that bribe hard. You're a killer.
I guess I made some gills, sure.
Sure. And has it been easy? Is life easy? Have you not gone into cardiac arrest? Are you not about to have an anxiety attack or shoot yourself in the mouth? But you still hustle 24/7, ride or die. Now, ask yourself, are you rich?
No.
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 That's
No.
right. You work harder than anyone. You almost rode yourself to the grave and you're still practically a hobo. Why is that?
Fucking taxes, man.
Fucking taxes, man. Honest.
That's right. 100%. Fucking G-Man's got his jam covered sticky fingers in your
G-Man?
stealing
Not
from
from-
you every time you
not from
buy,
Half-Life.
Sell, walk, talk, fart, so much as sneeze. Aren't taxes almost non-existent in the Gossamer state that is Revachol?
Really, every time I
Quick
sneeze.
question, Autumn.
Yep.
Quick question, Autumn, before I forget. I recently saw, because of course Valve makes their games cheap as fuck on the Steam sale. I saw Black Mesa was like $1, so I grabbed it. What is Black Mesa actually in the Half-Life universe? I don't know what it is.
It's
Is
like
it
a
a
remake
remake?
of Half-Life 1.
I just bought it without question. I was like, oh cool.
Because there's Half-Life Source and
Valve.
then there's Half-Life Source and there's Black Mesa. Half-Life Source
cool.
is like the original, if I'm not mistaken.
Gotcha.
But like Black Mesa just like does a lot of retexturing and stuff and helps with a little bit of the physics.
Is it both Half-Life 1 and 2, or is it just one?
I'll be honest, I never played Black Mesa. I've just heard of it, and I've only heard of it as being a remaster of Half-Life 1. Because I know that they did make Half-Life 2, and now they've made Half-Life 2 like RTX or whatever it's called, which is just like 4K graphics or whatever.
Gotcha.
Really? Every time I sneeze.
Every time you wipe your ass, they got their direct and their indirect modes of taxation. Sales tax, excise duty, extraction tax, alimony, one tax that doesn't even have a name. Plus there's the stuff people in other countries pay for. That makes them ask for more money from you. Here, total tax duties add up to 98% of all your money.
Accurate.
No fucking way.
Imagine like he gets a call and it's like, "Hey, you're late on your last 3 alimony payments," and he's like, "Oh, damn, the last 3 months," and they're like, "No, this month." And he's like, "Wait, I've been divorced 3 times," and he's like, "Nah, you've been divorced 5 times. Only 3 of them you had to owe alimony for, but you're fucking broke, dude."
Are you sure? That number seems like a pretty big number.
What are you not sure about? They're milking your nipples till they bleed. Can't you see? Aren't you sick and tired of having bloody nipples?
Bleeding nipples are kind of a pain, but how would I relate them with that? Opt-in, but only a
It's
little.
all about the tax issue, hustler. No other problem in the world is as pressing as top marginal tax rates. And don't you fucking forget it.
Okay.
The 2 things in this life that are certain: death and taxes.
Oops, revert. We get to level up a
That's cool, we can
skill.
revert. Do we want to go more min-max or be more balanced?
That is questionable.
I think balance is probably actually a better thing for this game. Because it's so all over the place.
Half-Life.
We might as well.
Kind of like Half-Life.
And also remember that like the dice in this game is like 2d6s, so you're more likely to get a balanced roll.
What do you think? What should we do? Compose, keep your poker face, pick locks and pockets.
I think so I think the ones that are like at a 0 are just like, let's not even bother with them. But ones that are like 2s and 3s maybe are like worth investing in.
There's 5.
No, see, that's the thing. 5s and 6s we probably don't need to touch because those are like pretty good. We could use suggestion. I remember suggestion was like, let's look at it.
Where's that at? I don't know where
it's upper right, and then down 1. There you go.
Charm men and women. Play the puppet master.
Yeah, that's good.
I get to change. I get to raise one of these up by 1. I think. Never. Oh, never mind. I don't know
Oh,
if
that
this
probably
is-
just ups like all things in the row.
Hey. Psst.
Who, me?
Yes, you. Word on the street.
You're
is
finally awake.
You're ready to start building communism again.
Get the fuck out of here! No. Again.
Yes, you're ready to start building communism again. You've built it before. They've built it before. Hasn't really worked out yet. But neither has love. Should we just stop building love, too?
Yes, we should all stop building love. Love has worked out really well for me. I'm a love winner. Which one do you think?
Number 3.
Good. We need tender men like you building gargantuan communism.
Gargantuan
Word on the street
communism.
is it's going to be 10,000 times larger than any communism previously attempted by human beings. Is that right?
How come there's word on the
You
street?
keep saying things like, down with the bourgeoisie, eat the rich, sodomize the landowners, impale all people who have more than 25 real in their pockets, literally murder all human beings regardless of their political beliefs.
I have not said anything like that.
Okay, not in so many words, but don't deny it. You're about to rip off that mask of social democracy and reveal the monstrous seven-eyed lamb of global communism that will devour and masticate mankind. Everyone can see that. So tell me, do you have any questions before we fire up the big communism builder? Or do we get right down to it?
Wait, first, what's this communism even about?
Failure. It's about failure.
I don't do failure.
Of course you do. You are failure. You
Goddamn
are
rhetoric.
What the?
absolutely
What?
vanquished, beaten, curb stomped. Shut up.
My mind is flip flopping. Oh, you're such a winner. You're such a go getter. What was the thing he said? You're such a hustler. Look at you. You're always winning. Then my mind turns around and goes, "You are suck. You suck. Everyone hates you." Which one is it?
You alone.
Well, they're two different sides of our mind.
Thing, against every human alive. 800 trillion real in the hands of an impossibly well-organized ruling class. Towering city blocks of bankmen who have the ears of prime ministers. Million-headed armies of nations and the love of your own mother. You against the atom, the charm and the spin. Where the whole world failed. Matter failed to bend to human will. Human will failed to get out of bed and tie its laces. You alone, single-handedly, will rebuild the dreams of the working class. You are the last communist.
I got a question. Did you notice the lady has inserted her body into the boat itself?
Oh, Lord. I did not notice that.
Now get to work, comrade.
Well, I would if you shut up.
Roll up your sleeves.
That's too tiring. I don't have it in me. I'm beaten down and broken.
Which one do you think? We opt in or opt out?
Let's just opt out.
Okay, let's opt
Very well. I guess no one will build communism then. Tell the working man it's over, unless anyone has objections. No objections. It's mathematically impossible to achieve a classless society. Everyone knows this.
No matter what you do, even in communism, people will always have more than you.
Did someone mention cocaine?
Oh,
what?
No. I'm sure I heard someone say
cocaine.
Anyone? Anyone else? There's no one? There's no one. Okay then. Lie down and let the water carry you downstream.
Goodbye, communism.
I love that there is just 40 voices in our head. And they're starting to interact with each other. Can we talk to? Is there anything else we can talk to? Oh, right. We had to talk to Kim one-on-one first.
How'd you hope it would go?
Honestly, I was expecting you to use your unorthodox technique to keep her off balance, and not volunteer us to be her henchman.
Really? I thought it was going so well.
This woman is running circles around us. She might have known about your misplaced badge all along, or she's simply an adept improviser. Either way, we've played straight into her hands.
He doesn't let it show. But there is a limit to how much the consequences of your unprofessional behavior can cost the investigation.
Yeah, we are burning daylight.
You could just
quick question, Autumn.
Yep.
A quick question, Autumn. So Thomas is going to be available for recording at 7. So right now, there's just enough time for you to wrap up my side with Liz. So we should probably like wrap it up after this conversation. You go do that, and then we hop on call with Thomas. We record our other game that we're gonna play. Okay. Sound like a plan?
Yep. You could just, find my badge.
Oh, that would be fantastic, but do we have the time? The world is large, and your badge is 8 by 6 centimeters.
The situation might have changed drastically by the time you locate it. Time is of the essence.
You could request a new one from your station, but that would literally take months.
What do you propose we don't investigate the drug trafficking?
No. If there is reasonable suspicion, we must investigate. Otherwise, she could claim we are siding with the Union, or that we are on their take. We'd never hear the end of it. What I propose is, we ask her, then we investigate, briefly. But do not share the outcome of this investigation with her. We tell her it's done, and demand for her information on the lynching.
I'll handle it.
I'm sure you will, Detective.
I can't talk to her anymore.
Oh, it's just not letting you? Okay.
I think it's broken. But that does give us time to save and exit the game. I do appreciate everyone for coming to this stream. I love you all.
I appreciate how long that last discussion was as well, because that was like a lot of needed exposition and explanation for why the universe is the way that it is. And it's great seeing the effects of like it's great seeing the effects of, you know, everything that she discussed on like societies we've kind of walked through in the first stream, and then now we're getting the explanation as to why things are the way that they are, and it's all kind of coming together. Really good stuff. I think I will probably rewatch the first stream before we do another disco stream, so we can refresh our memory a little bit better on the other people we talked to. But yeah, this is shaping up to be quite interesting.
I will say.
And I also think that, you know, I think it'd be interesting if, like, this game has multiple endings that affects the current, like, it affects how the government is, you know, moving forward, I think. That'd be pretty cool. But I don't know if that's the direction that this is actually headed. Also, I don't think Liz would actually enjoy this game. Remember we were talking about it the other day?
Yeah,
and then we were like,
too
no,
long.
not that game. Because Liz, I think Liz would get pretty bored by some of the long discussions about the government and shit like that.
Yeah.
Versus what you and I are like, ooh, okay, I'm listening. You know?
Communism.
Communism.
Anyway, we want to shout out our gold tier members, the Pinky Life and the Razapple. Thank you for being gold tier members. There are memberships you can purchase under our channel. If you hit the join button, we have cool little perks there. Silver tier gives you the ability to be written out at the end of the video so people can see your name there in the credits. And gold tier lets you be shouted out at the end of videos. Bronze tier doesn't get any of those, but it does get access to our Fanfiction Fridays. Every 2 weeks we record a fanfiction that's either cringe, bad, or just downright weird. And we upload those. We try to upload those as often as possible. And last time we did it, we did Sonic High School. We did Sonichu, My Immortal, and we also did a Shrek X Trump one, which was pretty funny. And we would appreciate it if you supported the channel. However, if you just like and subscribe, that's enough support for me. We also have merch in our merch store where we can go and hit the link that's in the description, or just go to our YouTube channel and go to the shop icon. We can go there and you can buy our new 2025 merch, which is the new logo that our Discord users have voted on. We have a Discord, by the way, in case you didn't know. It's also in the description, so you can also join from there. And yeah, super coolio doolio things.
Coolio doolio.
You want to say anything, Ron?
No. Autumn and Lizard from BS&B playing goofy games for all of our peeps. Oh,
Crazy.
super stupid the morons will be. Something I don't remember. Games on the BS&B.
Well, thank you, everybody.
Did you know Steve's Lava Chicken is canon in Minecraft now? You can get it.
Yes,
from,
I did see that.
You can get it from killing a chicken jockey.
And villagers now singing it.
Oh my god.
We'll see you in the next live stream, short or video, everybody. Bye.